Yo, I'm in the zone when the big blocks rumble. Slide in the slick, watch the quick line crumble. MDiTV got the heat in the tunnel. Boost in the stream, better tighten that buckle. Dirt flying, wide tires grinding. Slide job city, full send, no hiding. Modified beast, you can't fake that tone. It's a full barrel growl and it shakes your dome. Big block, we bring the thunder. Big block, straight out of the under. Big block, tear up the clay. If you ain't built tough, better get out the way. From Brewerton down to the Port Royal gates, I'm shifting fate when I rotate plates. Got torque in the veins and hate in the dust. It's checkers or wreckers and slide we trust. I ain't here for a cruise or a cameo. I'm throwing sliders like Mario. Red flag rage when I rage the show. Tech with the flow when the wheels go roll. Big block, full send savage. Big block, dirt track havoc. Big block, hear that scream. Built not bought, it's a racer's dream. Shout out to the warriors in the pits. Wrench turners, heat burners, slide with the blitz. MDiTV, yeah, we lit on stream. When the big blocks roll, you know what it means. Peer up the clay. Built not bought. Built not bought. It's a racer's dream. Shout out to the warriors in the pits. Wrench turners, heat burners, slide with the blitz. MDiTV, yeah, we lit on stream. When the big blocks roll, you know what it means.
Oh boy, Jordan LaFond did not make the top split. I told him he probably was going to, but boy, he wouldn't have made it before he lost that I rating. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Week 2 action as we jump into Lernerville here tonight. It is going to be 50 laps here for the opener. It is going to be a wild one. 65-76 SOF. I see Dylan Yeager in there. I see Tyson Banks, T. Clem, Ryan Goffmanis, Brian Kuta, Nicholas Ham, Michael Swank. I mean, the list keeps going. Ethan Bill, Caleb Durgan, Brandon Barnhart. It is going to be a barn burner here tonight. What's up, Karen? I guess I goofed up over here on my TikTok. Forgot to hit send for the stream.
Yo, I'm in the zone when the big blocks rumble. Slide in the slick, watch the quick line crumble. MDiTV got the heat in the tunnel.
All right, we are live now over on TikTok. Let's go ahead and pull up tonight's race as these guys are out on the tracks right now. I'm picking the wrong one, aren't I? Where is it? There it is. All right. It is going to be 50 laps here tonight as these guys are out on the track right now. Brandon Barnhart at the top of the charts. Lernerville, we're going to see someone going over the edge here tonight. I'd almost guarantee it. Almost would guarantee it right now. Barnhart, that quick time. Dylan Yeager, second quick in that number 48 machine. Lingron is going to try to get up there to the top spot here tonight. Good old Joey Pasta Lingron. Damian Ward going to go quick time here in practice as he flips down the front straightaway. Caleb Durgan's deep in the field. Looks like Ragin' Ray is out here on the track. LaFon, if you were out there watching, you wouldn't have even made this split if you hadn't lost that iRacing. You're probably pretty deep even in second split. All right, let's see. We got about 45 seconds left here in practice. Let me know in the chat, who do you got winning here tonight? There are some heavy hitters, so there is a lot of choices here to pick. We have 21 cars set to take the track here tonight. Only 18 making the feature. That means we're going to be sending 3 cars home tonight after heats and the LCQ. I am curious on how this one is going to go. What up, Braden? What up, buddy? What up? Just so you guys know, we are now doing the ARCA series. I put the schedule in the Discord. It'll be Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do a little tweaking to the schedule. It probably is going to be a shorter practice moving forward. They will be 50 laps. We may adjust on some of the bigger tracks. We'll see how it goes, but the opener is going to be this Wednesday at Volusia. You don't want to miss that one. Can anybody knock Landon Moody off the top of the ARCA Clay Clash? We'll find out here Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, qualifying set to go off as it looks like Caleb Durgan going to be one of the first ones out on the track in that number 17 here tonight. D Ward lapped me Friday. I saw that he got a W. So Caleb Durgan, we did not see him in week number 1. He is out here week number 2 at Lernerville. No surprise here as he is pretty good at this track. No Loic. As Durgan's going to set the bar here early. There goes Tyson Banks, though. Ryan Goffmanis. Oh, Durgan is getting knocked off the top here tonight. That is definitely not what he is looking for here tonight. It is looking like it is going to be a tough one for him as he falls further. Oh, he shoots it off the end. It's going to be Ryan Goffmanis. Now Brandon Barnhart goes quick time with a 14.989. Brandon Barnhart to the top of the charts. Damian Ward out on the track right now in the number 32 machine, coming around turn number 4, looking for that white flag. He's going to come around. Where will he put it? Oh, no lap time counted that time as he heads down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. He took a spin. Oh, Damian Ward is going to go ahead and pull off the track. He took a spin line. All right, so Ward's going to go ahead and try again. He did not like that one as Nicholas Ham's going to put the slowest time down so far with a 15.336. Brundage out there on the track right now. I'm watching Damian Ward. He ended up being quick in practice. We got, where is... Oh, Brundage going to go over the edge. I said we were going to see people going over the edge. Brundage going to be the first one we see going over the edge here tonight. Ryan Kuta out on the track in that number 35 machine. He's going to be 12th quick. Dylan Yeager going to go up to second quick as Ethan Bill going to be 4th quick. Roundtree to the top of the charts with a 14.981. That is not the lap that Ryan Kuta was looking for here tonight. Damian Ward going to be deep in the field. He's going to be back in that number 7 spot as it stands right now. Got a few more people out there putting laps. Riley Knoll going to go 12th quick. Let's go back and jump on Brundage. As Nick Brundage going to go 12th quick with a 15.074. So Roundtree going to go to the top of the charts here tonight in qualifying. Fantastic lap for him. He's going to be leading him off in heat race number 1. All right, they're going to get out on the track now as they start to pile in at the end of pit road. We're going to go ahead and hit up tonight's starting lineup here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 1, it's going to be the number 2, I'm assuming, of Kieran Roundtree. Outside of him in the number 34 machine, it's going to be Brandon Barnhart. Starting inside row number 3 in that number 14 machine, it's going to be Ethan Bill. Outside of him in the number 9, it's going to be Colin Murphy. Starting inside row number 3 here tonight in another number 9, it is going to be Joseph Matthews. Outside of him in that number 1 machine, it's going to be Joey Pasta Lingron. Starting inside row number 4 here tonight in that 09 machine, it is going to be Riley Knoll. Outside of him in the number 14, it's going to be Aaron Langley. Starting inside row number 5 in that number 45 JR, it's going to be Nicholas Ham. Outside of him in the number 35, it's going to be Ryan Kuta. Then rounding out the field here tonight in the number 97 machine, it is going to be T. Clem. 8 laps here in heat race number 1 as they get out on the track. What's up, Jax Gaming? What's up, buddy? What's up? As they come down the back straightaway, they're going to be set up 2 by 2 out of turn number 4. Let's wave it to them one last time as we set them green flag next time by who's your favorite here in heat race number 1. I guess I should go ahead and change this to gap instead of quick time. Yeah, that'll be fun. Volusia was a good one. We ran Volusia before. I need to test Husitz. That's why I said schedule could change. I wasn't happy with Eldora. It was all topside banging the wall. So I want to see how it'll be at Husitz. I got to do some testing, but that's probably going to be the schedule. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out as they head down into turn number 1 and 2. Roundtree going to have the lead. Battle going to be for second as Barnhart tries to hold on the top side. Ethan Bill with a decent run through turn number 1 and 2. He's going to get back up underneath as Murphy's going to take it 3 wide out of turn number 4. Ethan Bill going to grab that number 2 spot as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Those guys going to cut the grass down low. Here comes Riley Knoll. Down low, 3 wide. A whole bunch of 9s into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Riley Knoll is going to get a twofer as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. He is on the move up underneath Ethan Bill in turn number 1 and 2. Almost slides up into him. Ethan Bill going to run that top side down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. It's just top slide, ride the wall. That was the problem with Eldora. And Charlotte was horrible. Oh, we got one around. Lingron goes around in 1 and 2. Big pile up. Nicholas Ham going to get caught up in it. 3 laps complete. Going to make it 4 to complete this time by Lingron. Just spins around, loses his noodle out of turn number 2. Collects Nicholas Ham in that one as they come down the back straightaway. Remember, top 7 going to transfer through. Right now it is the 14 of Aaron Langley on that bubble spot. A lot of breathing room for him as they come out of turn number 4. 3 laps to go. Pressure for the lead is definitely starting to build as Barnhart is closing in on Roundtree. Riley Knoll closing in on both of them as they head through turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 2 to go at the line. 2 more laps to go. Yeah, I just don't know how to do all the setup stuff. I've been talking to a few people. We'll see what we can do. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be white flag this time by. Here comes Riley Knoll looking for that number 2 spot. Out of turn number 4. White flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Barnhart going to get a great run out of turn number 2. Can he get the run out of turn number 4? They're going to slide it into 3 and 4. Roundtree up the track. Barnhart looking low. Can't get there. It's going to be Roundtree, Barnhart, Knoll, Murphy, Ethan Bill, Matthews, Langley going to the feature here tonight. Kuta, T. Clem, Ham, and Lingron going to the LCQ. That was a good heat race number 1. We're going to go ahead and stack them up now for heat race number 2, starting on the pole here tonight. Go ahead and change up this camera around and put them up on the top, starting on the pole here tonight in that number 48 machine. It's going to be Dylan Yeager. Outside of him in the number 11 machine, it's going to be Matthew Watts. Starting inside row number 2, I believe he's going to be in the number 2. It is Lernerville. Yes, it is. it is going to be Ryan Goffmanis. Outside of him in the number 32, it's going to be Damian Ward. Starting inside, row number 3 in the 747, it's going to be Tyson Banks. Outside of him in the 916, it's going to be Nick Brundage. Starting inside, row number 4, it's going to be that number 28 of Casey McDonald. Outside of him in the number, what number is he in today? I got to look. He has had a couple different numbers. In the number 36, it's going to be Ragin' Ray Remy. Starting inside, row number 5 in the number 17 machine, it's going to be Caleb Durgan. He's going to have to dig the bottom a whole lot here tonight. Outside of him in the number 27, it's going to be Michael Swank. It is going to be 8 laps here tonight in heat race number 2. Top 7 going to transfer through. Everybody else off to the Consi. Who's your pick as they come out of turn number 4? You can do whatever you want with those paints. Have fun with it. It's your local track. Steele likes this one. As they head into 1 and 2, looking for that green flag this time by. I'll tell you what, Dylan Yeager always putting on a show. He's going to be starting up on that front row. He is going to be tough to beat here tonight. You put whatever number you want on there. You know, I just do it more so I can keep track because I know we're going to have people in and out. So that was the biggest thing about me wanting to know people's numbers and who was going to be there. Green flag is out. Dylan Yeager going to lead the way down into 1 and 2. Here comes Goffmanis trying to slide Watts. He does. Parks it on his nose out of turn number 2. Give Goffmanis that number 2 spot. Battle's going to be for third. Here comes Damian Ward up underneath Watts. Watts going to rip the top side out of turn number 4. It is top split official as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Ward trying to roll that bottom. Let's go see what Durgan's up to. He is digging the bottom down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Trying to get the grass down low as, Brundage goes around out of turn number 4. Brundage going to go around. Battle going to be for that number 2 spot right now as Damian Ward rolls the bottom. Not able to get the run out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Ward down low. Goffmanis over the top. Goffmanis going to fall off the top. Makes contact with Durgan. Big wreck down the front straightaway. Durgan tumbling into 1 and 2. Oh, that is unfortunate as Goffmanis gets back out on the track. Battle for second as our leader out front, Dylan Yeager. Quite a bit of space. 0.8 of a second in front of this battle for that number 2 spot as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Looks like Watt's going to have that spot. Here comes Tyson Banks down low on Ragin' Ray as they come out of turn number 4. 3 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Banks has stayed even, but Ragin' Ray, our biggest mover, up to the number 4 spot, up 4 positions as Cody McDonald in that number 28. He's trying to roll through the front. Cody going to try to make his way around Tyson Banks through turn number 1 and 2. Big rip for Banks out of turn 2. Not able to get the run. Has to let off of it. Goes to the bottom of turn number 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Yeager and company. Yeager well out in front. 1 second. Not a whole lot going on there. We're going to go back to this battle right here as Swank and Banks going to battle it out of turn number 2. Down into 3 and 4. Swank going to slide up underneath out of turn number 4. It is going to be Yeager, Watts, Ward, Ragin' Ray, McDonald, Swank, and Banks all going to the feature. Goffmanis, Durgan, and Brundage going to the Consi. What a Consi we're going to have here for you tonight. This might be as good as any feature. This is a huge Consi. Hold on. We got to look. What is the SOF of this Consi? Is that a 6.3K for the Consi? That is insane. All right, we are going to go ahead and roll them out here for heat racing, or for the LCQ. Top 4 are going to transfer through. 3 people going home here tonight. Starting on the pole here tonight in the LCQ, it is going to be the number 35 of Ryan Kuta. Outside of him in the number 2 machine, it's going to be Ryan Goffmanis. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 97 machine, it is going to be T. Clem. Outside of him in the number 17, it's going to be Caleb Durgan. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 45 JR, it's going to be Nicholas Ham. Outside of him in the 916, it's going to be Nick Brundage. Then rounding out the field here tonight, last but not least, in that number 7 spot, it is going to be Joey Lingron. All right, there's going to be 10 laps here tonight in the LCQ. Who's going to take that top spot? Let me know in the chat. Who are you rooting for here tonight? As they come out of turn number 4, they're going to get that one to go this time by. Who's going home? That's going to be the biggest question. Who is going home here tonight? Rocky, thank you for the like. Appreciate that. Appreciate that like. Trying to keep an eye on those. What we got out here? We got... Make sure you guys are getting those likes, shares, and follows, and definitely helps the stream as the green flag is out. Green flag is out as they come down the front straightaway, down into 1 and 2. Oh, Durgan gets contact. Durgan sideways, able to hold on to it as they come out of turn number 2. Big save by Durgan. He's going to hold on to that final transfer spot as Brundage and Lingron have fallen way back as they come out of turn number 4. Here comes the battle for the lead. Ryan and Ryan still side by side out of turn number 2. Goffman is going to get a good run out of turn number 2, but here comes the 35 of Kuta down on the bottom. Out of turn number 4, 2 laps complete. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Goffman is going to give it a little too much gas. Gets sideways out of turn number 2, down into 3 and 4. Still side by side for the lead as they get 3 laps complete. What a race for the lead into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, good run for Goffman as he hit the cushion perfect. Rips it off the top side. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Has the edge as they come out of turn number 4. Who's going to lead this time by? It is going to be Kuta at the line by a half a car length as they head into 1 and 2. Goffman is definitely starting to rip the top side. A little bit too much throttle out of turn number 2. 2 sideways as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Going to be halfway through. 5 laps to go as Goffman almost gets there to the line this time by. Great run with the slider through 1 and 2. Goffman is going to have the edge down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Are we going to have a new race? Oh, he goes over the edge. He steps on it out of turn number 4. Here comes Lingron in the number 1. Big mistake out of Goffman as they head into 1 and 2. Lingron going to take that final transfer spot as Brundage and T-Clem battle it out for the first person going home. Second person going home as they head through turn number 3 and 4. 3 laps to go as the top 3 try to pull away. Goffman is looking for that final transfer spot. Gets into Lingron out of turn number 2. Lingron has the run down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Goffman ships it in out of turn 4. He's going to slide behind Lingron as they head into 1 and 2. Right now it is Kuta, Ham, Durgan, Lingron in the show as they come down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3 and 4. A white flag is out. 1 lap to go as they come out of turn number 4. Oh, that was a massive mistake by Goffman as it looks like he might be that first person out as they come down the back straightaway through turn number 3 and 4. Oh, one last time. It is going to be Ryan Kuta with the win. Nicholas Ham second. Durgan third. Lingron in that number 4 spot. Goffman, T-Clem, and Brundage are going home. What a race in the LCQ. If that says anything about how tonight's feature is going to be, you don't want to go anywhere as we got 50 laps coming up right now. We all know what time it is. It is time for tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole here tonight in that number 2 machine, it is going to be Kieran Roundtree. Outside of him in the number 48, out of Evans or Blake Majulis or Evan C. Majulis, whatever, Majulis C Speed Shop, I know what it is. It is going to be Dylan Yeager. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 34 machine, it is going to be Brandon Barnhart. Outside of him in the number 11, it's going to be Matthew Watts. Starting inside row number 3 in the 09 machine, it is going to be Riley Knoll. Outside of him in the number 32, it is going to be Damian Ward. Starting inside row number 4 here tonight in that number 9 machine, it's going to be Colin Murphy. Outside of him in the number 36, it's going to be Raging Ray Remy. Starting inside row number 5 in the number 14 machine, these little introduction, it is going to be the number 14 of Ethan Bill. Outside of him in the number 48, it's going to be Cody McDonald. Starting inside row number 6 in that number 9 machine, it is going to be Joseph Matthews. Outside of him in the number 27, it's going to be Michael Swank. Hi, Mike. You going to get an interview tonight? Okay. Starting inside row number 7 in that number 42 machine, it's going to be Aaron Langley. Outside of him in the 747, it's going to be Tyson Banks. I got to go through this quick. Starting 15th, it's going to be Ryan Gupta. 16th, Nicholas Ham. 17th, Caleb Durgan. And last but not least, the number 1 of Joey Lindgren. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Chaos from second on back out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway as Roundtree is going to keep the lead down into 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Roundtree going to lead lap number 1, but number 2 is still up for grabs as Barnhart rolls the bottom. Dylan Yeager down low. Out of turn number 2, contact between second and third. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Looks like Matthew Watts trying to find a way to take advantage as he's ripping it on the top side out of turn number 4. Wow. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Still duking it out for that number 2 spot. Barnhart down low, makes a little contact with Yeager once again as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Roundtree continues to lead. They are trying to figure out this number 2 spot as Yeager's clearly going to have it this time. Here comes Matthew Watts in the 11. Looks like that top side is starting to prevail as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Barnhart going the wrong way as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Ward almost in the back of Watts as they come out of turn number 4, and they are like 4 wide back in the pack. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Going to move back up to this battle as it's Matthew Watts, Brandon Barnhart, Damian Ward battling out for that number 3 spot as they come out of turn 4. 1 up and over. It's going to be Riley Knoll off the edge. Yellow flag comes out. Riley sent it a little too hard, goes up and over the cushion, brings out the first caution flag of the night. Let's go see if we can take a look at that one. Yeah, he's just going to miss it. Up and over the cushion, so easy to do. Looks like he might have entered a little high in turn number 3 and 4, and up and over onto the flat, bringing out the caution flag for the first time here tonight. And is going to put Riley Knoll at the back of the field. What a race here so far tonight as these guys are duking it out here at Lernerville in the big block modifieds. It's going to be Roundtree leading the way. Yeager, Watts, Barnhart, and Ward, your top 5 right now. I'm telling you, this is going to be a slugfest, especially up at the front as they go into 1 and 2. Should get the 1 to go next time by. All right, let's see. What do we got going on the chat out there? Let's go take a look and see. See, we got a few people out there and over on TikTok. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and following the stream on every platform as they come out of turn number 4, especially YouTube. They just changed their algorithm a little bit, and those likes and the chat are meaning so much more. So make sure you guys are getting those likes, shares, and follows out there. As the pace lights are out, we are looking for the green flag this time by. Roundtree going to bring him to the green flag as they come into turn number 3 and 4. When's he going to fire off? He's going to want a good jump on Dylan Yeager. That top side definitely with the advantage right now. If he can't get away, he might lose that lead. Good jump for Roundtree. Green flag is out. Roundtree going to grab the lead into turn number 1 and 2. Watts going to go to the bottom. Down low out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. He's going to lose a ton of ground. Yeager touches the edge and falls back, able to bring it back up on the track as they come out of turn number 4. So Yeager going to drop a few spots there. That's going to give Matthew Watts the number 2 spot. Ward and Barnhart now duking it out for the number 3 spot as they come out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway into down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. How do I get... I will put those in Discord at some point here in the near future, probably later tonight. Out of turn number 4, down the back straightaway, it is going to be Matthew Watts out front as he took the lead away from Roundtree, looking for lap number 9 complete. New race leaders ahead in 1 and 2. Matthew Watts with the lead, Roundtree in second, Barnhart in third, Ward in fourth, Yeager fifth as it is chaos from 6 on back. Murphy rolling the bottom, Raging Ray up high out of turn number 4. You know, when there's always winners, there's always some big losers. Swank, Riley Knoll, all having trouble falling back in the pack right now. Those are our biggest losers as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Out front, Matthew Watts continues to lead and now pulling away as Roundtree is falling back in the grass of Barnhart and Ward as they come out of turn number 2 down into 3 and 4. Ooh, a little bit too much of a kick out there of the rear end for Roundtree. That's going to cost them a little bit of time and allow these guys to close the gap as Yeager putting the pressure on those guys out of turn number 2. He's high on Ward into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Dylan Yeager in that number 48. He's going to make his way around Ward down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Battle for second now starting to pick up. Here comes Barnhart looking up underneath Roundtree, side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Durgan's running 6s. Yeah, Durgan, if he can get some space, he might make some ground as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, looking for 3 and 4. Barnhart up to the number 2 spot. Here, whoa. Did we lose Yeager again? Yeager, lots of people. Yeager went over the edge. Now Swank and Knoll again off the top of the track in 3 and 4. Back up to the front, it's going to be Matthew Watts leading the way. Barnhart goes over. Barnhart going to go over. He's going to stop on the track. Brings out the caution flag here again as Lingron going to roll the top side. Lots of people going over the edge in turn number 3 and 4. Definitely a little chaotic as we've seen. I'll tell you what, Yeager lost a lot of spots. Let's go see what Barnhart went up and over. If you were war racing, right? Oh, Barnhart just steps it up and over. Oh, big contact back there. Caution flag comes out for the second time here tonight. A lot of good cars have been moved to the back. That's going to put Caleb Durgan up to the number 8 spot in that number 17, slowly and methodically making his way up through the field. Watch that number 17. Ethan Bill is up a few spots. He's looking to make his way back up to the front as they stack him up 2 by 2 back at the front of the pack here once again. So it's going to be Matthew Watts leading the field as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Are we going green this time, By? I think it's next time. I don't think they're going this time. Yep, we're going to have at least one more lap of pacing as they come across the line. Yep, 1 to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. So far, definitely a great race here tonight. Lots of lead changes, lots of mistakes. Everybody's still out on the track here tonight. And we are going to look for the green flag this time, By. Got Supers at Williams Grove coming up next. You don't want to miss that one. That should be a fun one as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as Watts gets a massive jump. So does Ward. Ward going to jump into second. Here comes Roundtree back to the bottom. Out of turn number 2, they almost touch down the back straightaway. Give Ward that number 2 spot. Raging Ray has made his way up into the number 4 spot, looking for more positions as here comes Murphy. Murphy to the top side of Ray as they head into 1 and 2. Roundtree trying to get that bottom side to work. It is not working on exit. Turn number 1 and 2. He's got to fall back in line. Here comes Durgan. He's going to stick his nose up in there as they come out of turn number 4. It is going to be 19 laps complete. Go Ward. Ward's having a great run. He's up to second. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Here comes Caleb Durgan in that number 17. He's got Ethan Bill right behind him as they come out of turn number 4. Ward and Roundtree continue to duke it out. Here comes Roundtree. Slide job into turn number 1 and 2. Wow, Durgan just tried to throw a slider back there. I don't know if you've seen it at the corner of your screen. As they head through turn number 3 and 4. Reward back to second. Here comes Roundtree looking back low. All this is let Murphy close in that number 9 machine. Big stack up there. Here comes Ward back down low. Out of turn number 2. Big run down the back straightaway. He's going to slide in place in 3 and 4. Roundtree going to dive down up underneath out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. Look for the slide in turn number 1 and 2. Slides up the track. Ward with a big run out of turn number 2. Ward running that cut down. Oh, Roundtree over the edge. Roundtree going to go over the edge in turn number 3 and 4. Maybe a little contact there. No caution flag. No caution flag as Roundtree makes it back out on the track. Roundtree with his hands full as Ward continues to lead. Watts continues to lead. Ward in second. Murphy third. Raging Ray fourth. Caleb Durgan up to the number 5 spot. That's 12 positions for the number 17. Matthew Watts is definitely killing it here tonight. For sure. What's up, Matt? How you been? Down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be the battle for that number 4 spot as Durgan closes the gap out of turn number 2, but Ray going to get a good run mid back straight on back as they head into 3 and 4. Here comes Durgan back to the bottom. Durgan trying to work that bottom. If that bottom's there, that 17 is definitely going to find it as here's Nick Ham. He is up to the number 9 spot. Lingron up to the number 10 spot. Lingron up to 9th. He's up 9 positions in that number 1 machine. He started shotgun on the field. I've been pretty good. I haven't seen you out there much lately. Good to see you in the chat, though. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn at number 3 and 4. It's going to be Matthew Watts leading the way. Damian Ward second. We're watching the battle for that number 8 spot as Lingron is looking as they head into turn number 1 and 2. 28 laps in the book as they come down the back straightaway. Nicholas Ham back here hoping something happens. If we get a caution, this could get chaotic as Dylan Yeager has been stuck in the back since going over the edge. He's back in that number 12 spot. Has not been able to make any ground forward. Looks like Riley Knoll is out of the race as Matthew Watts continues to lead. Damian Ward in second. 1.6 seconds is the lead for Matthew Watts. Yellow flag is out. All right, looks like Cody McDonald's going to have an issue here in that number 20. Oh, he missed the edge and then made some contact. Looked like he missed the entrance. Got on the brakes and then a little contact there. Caution flag comes out. Kids work and helping my buddy. Yeah, I get that. I'm sure we'll see you a lot more. Always good to see you on there. It's so much harder now when you don't run, though, to jump back in and be fast. All right, so quick caution flag here as looked like Cody McDonald made a little mistake on entry in turn number 3. Making contact, I think, with the number 9 of Matthews, and no harm, no foul. We're going to go back green flag here pretty quick. Think we're going to get that one to go next time by. So Watts with a hell of a run here tonight. We don't see him as much as we used to in the big blocks, but he is putting on a show here at Lernerville. A clinic would probably be the better way to put it. Does anybody have anything for that number 11? It's going to be 19 to go when they take the green. Williams Grove should be a good one, and the Supers coming up next. UMP Modifieds will be at Limaland. I'm going to have to find something in the middle to kind of fill in. I got a couple ideas for later on in the season, so we may work on some of that as these guys get it stacked up 2 by 2 out of turn number 2. Remember, guys, ARCA Dirt has been moved to Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Season opener this week, this Wednesday at Volusia. You don't want to miss that one. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as Watts gets a nice jump. Here comes Murphy. Murphy going to try to, no, he's going to stay down low as he had a good run on Watts in 1 and 2. Not able to put the car up to the top as they head into 3 and 4. Now, here's the question. Who has saved the most tire as Durgan's going to dig the bottom in that number 17. He's going to roll the bottom through turn number 1 and 2. Ray's going to get a good run as Murphy loses ground out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be 17 laps to go as they come across the line. Battle for second on back. Here comes Murphy. Murphy going to slide up the track. Ray going to come back with the cut down. Murphy had to lift out of it and not kill Ward as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Ray thinks about sliding Murphy over the edge. Ray pushed up the track. I think that's going to be a caution flag. No, he keeps it going as they are beating and banging at the back of the pack. Langley going to get the worst of that one. I don't know how that wasn't a caution. Looked like there might have been a little contact, or Murphy just kind of reacted to Ray coming up. Ray came up way up. Maybe there was some nut code. Not quite sure. Here comes Durgan looking down low. Ethan Bill might have just got the inside wall. I don't know how he managed that one. As they head down into turn number 3 and 4. And look at this. Pasta has slithered his way in that number 5 spot with the number 1 as they head into turn number 1 and 2. He might have just clipped the wall on entry at turn number 1 and 2, able to hold on to a big run out of turn number 2. Watts continuing to lead, but not getting out to the lead that he did before. Does Damian Ward have any more in the bank? We're going to find out here pretty quick as Raging Ray sits in the number 3 spot. Durgan in the number 4 position. Oh, Ray almost missed the entry in turn number 3 and 4. Was over the edge, down the back straightaway just before the entry. Here comes Durgan. Durgan going to slide into turn number 1 and 2. Durgan slides up the track, cut down by Raging Ray as they head into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to slide in. He's going to bring Pasta with him as they come out of turn number 4. Three-way battle for the number 3 spot as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, this has turned into a battle for that final podium spot as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 10 to go as they come across the line. 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. Now is the time for Ward to turn it up if he's got it, as Durgan's going to slide up the track, cut down by Ray. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Lingron. Lingron going to ship it into 3 and 4. Double slider out of turn 4, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Great battle here for third as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. They have also attached Joseph Matthews in this one as Raging Ray going to throw the slider on Durgan. Durgan back with the cut down. Durgan going to set himself in that number 3 spot. Here comes Pasta. Pasta slides up the track. Here comes Durgan back to the bottom. Double cut down out of turn number 2 down into 3 and 4. Ray's going to slide him in 3 and 4. Here comes Durgan back down low. 7 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Not a lot happening up at the front. Durgan going to slide in front of Ray. Ray going to come with the cut down. Up underneath Lingron. Now up underneath Durgan as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Ray's going to slide up. Here comes Durgan in the number 17. He's got the spot at the line. Oh, little contact down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Durgan up the track. Here comes Ray out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Slide job by Ray as they head into 3 and 4. Oh, contact. Matthews goes around. Caution flag comes out. What a race for that number 2 spot. Might have been a mistake here out of Matthews. Let's go take a look and see what exactly happened here. What a race we had for third. Oh, he was sliding up and Lingron was coming down. That is unfortunate for Joseph Matthews. He's going to get the worst of that one as we get the yellow flag here tonight. We're going to get a 4-lap shootout here. Single file restart. This could get crazy. That's just enough laps to cause trouble. Dylan Yeager trying to register for the Supers as that session is about to go up in 1 minute. We'll be jumping from here to there. After this, we'll catch those interviews with the top three if they all jump in. I don't know if Watts will. We'll see. We know Ward, Durgan, and Ray would all jump in. I'm sure Lingron would too. As it looks like Lingron is also registering for the Supers. As they come across the line, let's see if they get that one to go this time by. I'll tell you what, it has been a hell of a race here tonight, and if you have not hit that like button, I don't think you appreciate the racing that we've had here tonight. So make sure you guys hit that like, share, and follow button as we are looking for the green flag this time by. I am excited. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Watts on the gas. Durgan sideways out of turn number 4. Durgan's going to lose some ground. He's got Raging Ray all over the back of him as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Looks like it is Matthew Watts leading the way out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 3 laps to go as they come across the line. 3 laps to go as they head into 1 and 2. It's been phenomenal, honestly. Looks like there's been some respect, too. A little bit of give and take as they come out of turn number 2. Durgan's going to break away in that number 17. Closes the gap on Damian Ward as they get 2 laps to go. Damian Ward has not let Matthew Watts get away from him. Does he have anything left in the tank in that number 32? Big cut down out of turn number 2. That's going to check up Durgan. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. All of them up to the cushion except for Lingron with the slide on Ray as they come out of turn number 4. White flag is out. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes the slide by Ward. Ward slides up the track, has to get on the brakes. Watts leads the way down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. One last time. Give that checkered flag to the number 11 of Matthew Watts here tonight. Damian Ward second, Caleb Durgan third, Lingron, Raging Ray, your top 5. What a battle here tonight, all inside that top 5. It didn't matter who it was. That battle was absolutely epic as we are going to bring these guys in for interviews and jump over to the Super Race. Good win for Matthew Watts. All right, I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to go here and, well, I probably can't see a whole lot yet, and we're just going to miss practice. We're going to go see who jumps into the Discord. Phenomenal run for Damian Ward. Definitely a good run. He was up 4 spots. Durgan up 14. So was Lingron. That was insane. Let's go through those results. We'll check and see who's in Discord after that. And we'll work our way over to the Supers. That was great racing, Moody, for sure. It is going to be Matthew Watts with the win. Damian Ward in second. Caleb Durgan going to be in that number 3 spot. Lingron in 4th. Going to be Raging Ray in that number 5 position. Ethan Bill in 6th. Dylan Yeager going to work his way back up to 7th. Tyson Banks in 8th. Roundtree in 9th. Going to be Nicholas Ham in the number 10 spot. Ryan Kuta in 11th. Colin Murphy in 12th. Barnhart going to be 13th here tonight. McDonald 14th. Langley in 15th. Matthews 16th. Swank 17th. And Riley Knoll in that number 18 spot. We're going to go ahead and see who is in Discord. I see him. That was a crazy race. I mean, that was crazy. That was an amazing race to watch. I don't know how you guys felt driving it. Durgan, 14 spots, did not get the qualifying run you wanted. Had to work your way in through the LCQ after getting contact in your heat race, but making it up into the top 3 here tonight. Man, that was some work for you tonight.
$756, and I ran about 25 laps earlier today and built Nikki B a setup. And I've ran about 50 laps total on this new update stuff. So, I figured I'd come give it a whirl. And good to see absolutely nothing's changed with the game. And The setups are still the same. The cars still drive the same. The cars still feel the same, and the same people are still idiots. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard really the biggest difference was the left rear bite was the one thing that people had to change coming
The
into
left
this
rear
season.
bite. The left rear bite was a couple pounds high. I don't really know why.
Yeah,
Ethan Bill probably figured it out though with his 25 million test sessions that he's ran. That really worked out for him there in 6th. Bum. Get back to the pond, I say, Scattle. You know what I mean?
Well, great run here tonight. Why don't you give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
Yeah, James, everyone on this rig, and most importantly, you for streaming these events every week. You're my hero, James. Hope you have a great night.
All right, Durgan. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Damian Ward looked like he didn't have quite enough at the end there, but man, that 32 was a hot rod here tonight.
Yeah, definitely not my favorite track, but I kind of just kept my nose clean, stayed clear of the guys behind me, and was there at the end. Ryan was on the spotter stand trying to help me out, and I didn't listen to him until about 4 to go, and that's really when I started to reel. Watson, I probably should have listened a little earlier, but second's better than last.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was tires or just trying to figure out this track. I struggle with this track a little bit too, so don't feel bad.
I don't know. I was a little free most of about the whole race on exit, so I just playing a little safer. I kind of tried sticking to the middle most of the race, running cut down 1 and 2.
For sure.
And it just wasn't equal to what Matt was running, so I figured I had to change it up there at the end.
Burke, I was changing sessions. That's why it was up. Well, great run here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
Yeah, I got to thank Jacob Scholes with Outlaw Virtual Graphic Designs, Evel and the Thrill Factory, all those guys, Rocky Photography, all the guys in Discord, Ryan for hooking me up with a line there late in the race, you for putting on the stream, and Watts, and who else? Colin Murphy I battled pretty good with, Kyron I battled pretty good with, all those guys for running a good clean race. Ray ran me pretty clean. Yeah, well, see you next time and decide to load this thing up.
All right, Ward. Always good to see you out there. Maybe we'll see you Wednesday at Volusia, the ARCA cars.
Maybe. What time is it?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. If it's open, I'll be there.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Appreciate you.
Same to you. Thank you.
All right, Damian Ward, our second place finisher. Watts did not make his way into the Discord, but if he does, he's more than welcome to an interview, as it looks like Chase Copeland going to take the quick time here in qualifying right now for the World of Outlaw Late Models. Let's see, we got Dylan Yeager doing the double here tonight in that number 48. Oh, Burke. I have no idea if any of these drivers are streaming or not. I don't think a lot of them do. Lingron going to go to the top of the charts here in this one with a 19.643, it looks like. Got Hayden Tolson out on the track in the 327. Let's see what he's able to do. He's always fast each and every week. Rumsey will definitely be quick here. I see Mitzner in here. Ethan Johnson's in here. You know he's going to be quick, as Hayden Tolson going to go quick time with a 19.557. So Hayden Tolson to the top of the charts. Let's go jump on Dylan Yeager as he heads through turn at number 3 and 4. I see everybody's favorite former pro driver out there right now. And he's going to qualify 4th as Dylan Yeager brings it home in 2nd in qualifying right now. So Nathan Waddell, everybody's favorite former pro driver, coming out of turn number 4. I don't think he's going to pick up the pace here on lap number 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeager's going to be tough to beat. Tolson's good everywhere. Tolson will be tough. Lindgren, obviously good. Waddell will be good. Ethan Johnson's always good. Rumsey going to be in that number 8 spot. Look for him to move forward. Ethan Stuckwidge out there qualifying. Connor New could come up here and spoil the party up at the front. Let's go. Oh, I guess not, as it looks like he is not going to get a qualifying run in, as we are going to get ready for heat race number 1. All right, starting on the pole here tonight in the number 327, it is going to be Hayden Tolson. Outside of him in the number 1 machine, it's going to be Joey Lindgren. Starting inside row number 3 here in heat race number 1, it's going to be the number 11 of Ethan Johnson. Outside of him in the number 19, it's going to be William Hanger. Starting inside row number 3 here tonight in the number 45 machine, it's going to be Sean Smith. Outside of him in the number 79, it's going to be Bryce Young. Starting inside row number 4 in that number 1 machine, it's going to be Ethan Stuckwidge. Outside of him in the 44, it's going to be Crate Wheeler. Oh, I'm too far back. All right. Oh, I got that backwards. So the 45, wow. Okay, I was wrong. The 45 is going to be Sean Smith. The 79 is Wheeler. Stuckwidge is the 35. Dylan Ward is the 44. Holy shit, I screwed that up, didn't I? Starting inside row number 5, it's going to be the number 1 of Chase Copeland. Outside of him in the number 44, that is Dylan Ward. Then rounding out the field here tonight in the number 10 machine, it is going to be Connor New. I got looking at the chat instead of what I was on, and I done fucked it up. My bad, guys. All right, they're going to get the 1 to go this time by as they come down the front straightaway. It is going to be 8 laps here tonight in heat race number 1. And then we're going to find something random to do between this and the UMP race. So luckily it's Williams Grove this week because it'll be a little bit longer race probably. A little bit longer lap time. Maybe a few cautions. And maybe not as much time to kill. We'll find out here as they come down the back straightaway looking for that green flag this time by. Who's your pick here tonight in heat race number 1? Let me know in the chat as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as Hayden Tolson going to lead him down the front straightaway down into turn number 1 and 2. Johnson sliding into that number 2 spot, but Lindgren going to look up underneath him. Contact as Lindgren and Hanger make contact out of turn number 2. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Ethan Johnson looking up underneath Tolson. Makes a little bit of contact. They're leaning on each other. Crashing down the front straightaway. That's going to give the lead to Lindgren into 1 and 2. Look like they hooked up together, and Tolson going almost all the way around. Ethan Johnson paying for that one as they are all the way back in the back now. Outside that top 7, here comes Tolson up underneath as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, move Tolson into the number 6 spot. Now in a transfer spot. Can Ethan Johnson do the same as they come out of turn number 2? Down the back straightaway, 3 wide in the rear. Top split. What's up, Zachary? I seen you were in there. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. It is going to be 3 laps complete. We got 5 laps to go. Right now in the transfer spot, it is going to be Dylan Ward in that number 44 as they come out of turn number 2. Bryce Young trying to put the pressure on that number 44. They might open the door as Johnson gets up underneath, gives the door to Bryce Young. Bryce slides to the back. Here comes Ethan Johnson. 1 spot out as they head down into 1 and 2. Tolson still picking off spots. Now up underneath Sean Smith out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3 and 4. A little bit of contact on entry at turn number 3. Here comes Tolson. I thought he was going to slide it. No room to slide. He stays low out of turn number 4. Great run out of turn number 4 for Tolson. He's going to take that number 4 spot as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Johnson still 1 spot out in that number 11 machine. Little bit of damage to that spoiler. This track is going to be very aero sensitive. How bad is it handling as they head into turn number 3 and 4? It is going to be 2 laps to go. So things have calmed down. A little bit of battle there between Copeland and Connor New up the track into the wall out of turn number 2. Dylan Ward still getting pressured by the 11 of Ethan Johnson. Craig Wheeler just behind Johnson as they head through turn number 3 and 4. This is the battle for the final transfer spot as they get 1 lap to go. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Craig Wheeler in the 79. Slides it into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be Lingron leading the way. He's going to lead. He's going to win heat race number 1. Hanger in second, Tolson, Stuckwidge, Copeland, Smith, Connor New, and Dylan Ward making it to the feature here tonight. Wheeler, Johnson, and Young going to the LCQ. Hello, Wheeler. All right, let's get ready here for heat race number 2 as they are going to restack them up. Let's go through tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 2. Oh, it's going to be hard. You know how hard it is to go back without pulling up the UI, Brad? I'll try. I can try here in a minute. Let me go through the standings. It's going to be Dylan Yeager starting on the pole here tonight in that number 48. Outside of him, the number 5 of Nathan Waddell. Starting inside, row number 2, in that number 2-1-2, it's going to be Breely Putnam. Outside of him, in the number 6 machine, it is going to be Logan Rumsey. Starting inside, row number 3, in that number 1 machine, it is going to be Corey Roberts. Outside of him, in the number 17, it's going to be Zachary Mitzner. Starting inside, row number 4 in the 07 machine, it is going to be Riley Knoll. Outside of him, in the number 07, pair of 07s, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Then running out the field here tonight, it is going to be the 20 of Jason White. Outside of him, in the 97, it's going to be T. Clem. I'm not going to be able to get to it. Looking for the green flag, Dylan Yeager and Nathan Waddell on that front row. They don't have it made here tonight. They got a handful coming behind them as they come out of turn at number 4. We are looking for that green flag. It's a hell of a row behind them. Rumsey up on the high side in that number 6 machine. Let's see if he's able to make it up into the lead here. If anybody's going to make that move, it's going to be him here tonight. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Yeager on the gas, down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1. Waddell in that number 2 spot. Breely looking up underneath him. He's going to slide it in the number 3 spot. Here comes Rumsey trying to cut down out of turn number 2. Gets up underneath Breely. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Rumsey down low in that number 6 machine as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Gets the run out of turn number 4. Give Rumsey the spot this time by up underneath Waddell as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Waddell going to dig up underneath as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3 and 4. Give that spot back to Waddell as Rumsey continues to dig the bottom side out of turn number 4. Looks like the bottom side is really good on exit out of turn number 4, but struggling on the bottom of 1 and 2. He's going to slide up this time, almost up to the door. Waddell then cuts down out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Breely up underneath Rumsey. Rumsey going to get the run out of turn number 4. Breely going to pull back in line down the front straightaway, get to the back of Rumsey. Rumsey sideways here. Oh, more contact. More contact as Mitzer is going to make his way up into the mix in that number 17. Mitzer going to slide into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Rumsey back down low out of turn number 4. Battle for the lead definitely starting to heat up as Waddell is there into turn number 1 and 2. Back to the battle for that number 3 spot. Mitzner down low, Rumsey up high. He's going to get the run out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Send it in and let it eat. That's what they're doing right now, Demon. As they come out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, going to be 3 laps to go. Looks like Nathan Waddell up at the front is starting to find a line, trying to find a little bit of speed as he works Eager down into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to get up underneath out of turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Nope. Move Waddell back into that number 2 spot as Corey Roberts grabs the wall down on pit road. So Roberts has an issue. He's going to take the toe down onto pit road. Battle for that lead as Waddell sits in that number 2 spot, trying to close the gap on Yeager as they head through turn number 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Yeager leads the way. Waddell going to roll the bottom. He's looking for a little bit of speed right now. Can he find it on the bottom? No, he loses ground out of turn number 2. Down into turn number 3 and 4. One last time. It's going to be Yeager with the win in heat race number 2. Waddell, Rumsey, Mitzner, Bickford, Knoll, and White going to the feature here tonight. Breely Putnam, T. Clem, and Corey Roberts going to the Consi. So Breely made the mistake, apologized, gave Yeager the spot back, and then paid for it later as he rolled all the way back outside of a transfer spot, but he is going to be starting second here in the LCQ. We're going to go back and try and look at that start here in a second. I'm just going to go through this. Should be quick. It's going to be the 44 of Dylan Ward starting on the pole here tonight in the LCQ. Outside of him in the 212, it's going to be Breely Putnam. Starting inside, row number 3 in the number 79 machine, it's going to be Cray Wheeler. Outside of him in the number 97, it's going to be T. Clem. Starting inside, row number 3 in that number 11 machine, it's going to be Ethan Johnson. Outside of him in the number 1, it's going to be Corey Roberts. Then last but not least here tonight in the number 7 machine, it's going to be Bryce Young. All right, I should be able to. I don't know where everything is. That's my biggest problem. All right, so we need to find Hayden Tolson. We're going to go heat 1, lap 1. All right, so we're going to try and look at this real quick. We're going to go up into Far Chase. All right, so here comes. They just connected together, and I think they just hooked together after the contact there as Johnson was looking up underneath. They're arguing about it in the chat right now. Netcode, that was definitely not netcode. He just got in the back of it and over-rotated Tolson. He thought he had enough room. They really did. There was a little bit of pushing their spot into pushing themselves into the spot, a little bit of pinching down. Tolson had the line. Johnson was trying to get it, take advantage of it. Just a hard racing deal here tonight as they look for the green flag out of turn number 4. Dylan Ward on the gas. Dylan going to take the lead out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Breely in second. Cray Wheeler in third. Johnson in that number 4 spot as they come out of turn number 4 down the back straightaway, or turn number 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Going to be single file for the field of 4 now as Breely trying to work that 44. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Looks real hard to pass. Single file as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. A little bit of contact with the wall as they come down the front straightaway. Breeley putting the pressure on that number 4 machine. Cray Wheeler sitting in third. He's looking to take advantage. If these guys get together down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3. One thing you got to watch. Breeley with a slide in 3 and 4. Breeley going to slide up. Can Ward get the cut down out of turn 4? He does. Down the front straightaway, but it's going to be new race leader into 1 and 2. Breeley booting them as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Breeley takes the lead down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Ethan Johnson down the back straightaway, putting the pressure on Cray Wheeler. Cray Wheeler putting the pressure on Ward. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Here comes Johnson, looking for the number 3 spot into 1 and 2. Johnson going to roll the bottom. Wheeler going to bang the wall out of turn number 2. Johnson going to take the spot, but Wheeler with a big run down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Takes the spot back. Here comes Johnson fighting back on the bottom out of turn number 4. Johnson going to fight on the bottom as they drag race down the back front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. Johnson slides up the track, does not slide up in front of him. Here comes Wheeler back to the outside, down the back straightaway, looking for 3 and 4. It is going to be 4 laps to go when they cross the line this time by. 4 laps to go as they come across the line. Single file for the leaders. Ford now. Great battle here for second on back as Breeley leads the way out of turn number 2. Here comes Wheeler up underneath Ward into turn number 3 and 4. Slides him. Ward back with the cut down out of turn number 4. Here comes Johnson in the 11. Drag race down the front straightaway. Demon, thank you for the music on stage. Appreciate that. As they come down out of turn number 2. Big contact as Ward gets in the back of Wheeler. Wheeler with a big save into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Dylan Ward back up underneath as they come out of turn number 4. He's going to get back in line down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go as they head into 1 and 2. Wheeler's going to miss turn number 1 and 2. Up on the cushion. Out of turn 2. Stands on the gas down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3. So Wheeler somehow got a phenomenal run out of turn number 2 as they head through 3 and 4. It's going to be Breeley leading the way as he bangs the wall out of turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. One last time. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Breeley with the win here tonight. Ethan Johnson, Cray Wheeler, Dylan Ward going to the feature here tonight. Young, Roberts, and T. Clem going to the Consi. Oh, you're gonna get your slide jobs tonight. All right, guys, we're going to get ready for tonight's starting lineup. Tonight's starting lineup, starting on the pole here tonight in that number 1 machine, it's going to be Joey Pasta Lingron. Outside of him in the number 48 machine, it's going to be Dylan Yeager. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 19 machine, it's going to be Will Hanger. Outside of him in the number 5 machine, it's going to be everyone's favorite former pro driver, Nathan Waddell. Starting inside row number 3 in the 327, it's going to be Hayden Tolson. Outside of him in the number 6 machine, it's going to be Logan Rumsey. Starting inside row number 4 in the number 35 machine, it's going to be Ethan Stuckwich. Outside of him in the number 17, it's going to be Zachary Mitzner. Starting inside row number 5 here tonight in that number 1 machine, it is going to be Chase Copeland. Outside of him in the 07, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Starting inside row number 6 here tonight in the 45 machine, it's going to be Sean Smith. Outside of him in the 07, it's going to be Riley Knoll. Starting inside row number 7 here tonight in that number 10 machine, it's going to be Connor New. Outside of him, in the number 44, it's going to be, or sorry, not 44. In the number 20, it's going to be Justin White. Starting inside, row number 8 here tonight. In the number 212, it's going to be Breeley Putnam. Outside of him, in the number 11, it's going to be Ethan Johnson. Then rounding out the field here tonight, in the number 8 row, starting inside, in the number 79, it's going to be Cray Wheeler. Outside of him, in the number 44, it's going to be Dylan Ward. 50 laps here tonight at Williams Grove. Who's your pick? Let me know in the chat as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they come down the front straightaway looking for turn number 1 and 2. Lingron going to have a nice jump as Yeager jumped up to the high side out of turn number 2. Let's see if he can get the run down the back straightaway. He should be able to get it. Secures that number 2 spot. No. Hanger's going to hang strong down on the bottom into turn number 3 and 4. Will Hanger roll in the bottom through turn number 3 and 4. Lingron's going to get the good run out of turn number 4 as Yeager stays in that number 2 spot. Battle's going to be for third on back as Hanger jumps up to the top side. Here comes Tolson to the bottom. Tolson going to roll the bottom, makes contact with Hanger as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Going to be side by side. Tolson going to get the run off the bottom. Give him that number 3 spot as Rumsey's now up in front of Hanger. Hanger going to make his way back down to the bottom side, but here comes Waddell up underneath him out of turn number 2. Hanger having trouble getting a handle on that car as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. He might have it now as they come out of turn number 4. Battle for the lead as Yeager is all over the back of Lingron into 1 and 2. Thank you for the tiny demon. Appreciate that. As they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, here comes Yeager trying to get up underneath Lingron. He's going to get there. He's going to slide him into turn number 3 and 4. Cut down by Lingron. Drag race out of turn number 4. Who's going to have it at the line? It's going to be Lingron at the line as Yeager falls back to second. Aw, you love me so much. I appreciate that, Demon, for those. Appreciate that. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Yeager going to have the lead back. Here comes Lingron back to the bottom. Going to be a drag race out of turn number 4. Drag race down the front straightaway. Who's going to have it at the line? It's going to be Lingron into turn number 1 and 2. Appreciate those donations. Appreciate those coins, gifts, whatever they are. Appreciate that, Demon. As they come down the front straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Lingron on the bottom. Yeager up high. Who's going to lead this time by? It's going to be new race leader at the line. Dylan Yeager into 1 and 2. Yeager going to have the lead as they come through turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Lingron trying to work that bottom. It's not there in 1 and 2. Goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4. There might be a little something on the bottom if you hit it right in 3 and 4. Let's see if Lingron can get it to work. Doesn't look like he loses, but definitely does not gain as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Man, Lingron looking so good through the middle of 1 and 2. Just can't get that run out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3 and 4. Superfan, let's go, says Demon. Appreciate you, buddy. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. So things quiet down a little bit up at the front as we move back further in the pack. It's going to be Stuckwich leading this pack through turn number 3 and 4. Zachary Mitzner to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide, maybe not. They get back in line as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Johnson trying to make his way up through the field. He's up 7 spots already, up to the number 9 position. Going to dig up underneath, down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Johnson to the bottom as they're 3 wide through turn number 1 and 2. Johnson going to get the run out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, still side by side with Copeland as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Mitzner in the 17. Misses the line a bit. They're almost 3 wide out of turn number 4. That's going to cost Copeland a little bit of time as him and Mitzner make contact as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Johnson continuing to roll the bottom, trying to get up underneath Stuckwich out of turn 2. Has to get back in line. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Contact between Johnson and Mitzner on entry at 3 and 4. Copeland and Johnson make contact coming out of 4-3 wide. Johnson going to fall back to 9th. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Johnson's going to give it back in turn number 1 and 2. Out of turn 2. Here comes Connor New. He wants a piece of the action. Appreciate the TikTok. Appreciate the I Heart You. Appreciate that, Demon. Appreciate the GG. As they come out of turn number 4. Great battle here as they head into 1 and 2. Johnson going to try to slide up in front of the 17. Can't quite get there. Johnson does have damage on the nose of that number 11. Don't know how that's going to affect him through the race. I know I'm awesome. I mean, thank you, Demon. As they head through turn number 3 and 4, these guys 2 and 3 wide, still staying all over the back of Stunkwitch. Here comes Riley Knoll in the 07. Wow, this is crazy for 6 on back as they come out of turn number 2. Top 5 have pulled away. A little bit of racing up there, but it's not nearly as interesting as a caution flag comes out for the first time here tonight. Oh, Breeley with a ton of damage on that number 12 machine. Gets the wall there. Tries to hit the entrance of pit road, misses it, and brings out the caution flag for the first time here tonight. Yeah, this has been pretty good. Been pretty good. Appreciate you, Demon. Definitely appreciate that. It's been pretty good racing. And you know what? I've heard of a lot of apologies, but let's go take a look at Johnson's nose. He's definitely got some nose on the left front of that machine. So does Nathan Waddell. Let's go look at Copeland's car. He took a couple licks there. He looks pretty good up on the top side there as we come across the line, working caution flag number 1. We are going to stack them up 2 by 2. I think we're going green this time by. Not 100%. No, we are not going green this time by. Definitely pace lights are still on. They're going to get that 1 to go this time by. As they stack them up side by side. We are going to get that 1 to go. Look at that. You know, this is going to be a good spot for Tolson. Tolson definitely has some speed. Good. This is going to be good for all these guys in the top 5. Going to be curious to see what happens from 6 on back. Was definitely some crazy racing there for a little bit. You're the first one to do what? Spam me like that? Probably. I do like that it's now showing me when you do that on OBS, though. Because it wasn't before. You used to have to tell me. Oh, you joined the fan club. Nice. It did not tell me that. All right, we are looking for the green flag this time by Dylan Yeager in the number 48. Going to lead him out of turn number 4. When's he going to fire off? We're about to find out. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Tolson gets a good jump on the bottom, but Lingron going to have a better jump up high. He's going to fall in line as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Nice. I have to check it out. I seen it. I just don't really know how it works as we got contact for that number 2 spot as Rumsey and Lingron make contact into turn number 3. Seen a lot of that here tonight. It is absolute chaos from these guys on back as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Look at this. This is freaking amazing to watch that back in the back when you get the whole field as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Yeager leads the way. Lingron in second, but Rumsey working that top side. This is going to get interesting as they come out of turn number 4. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, Whitley. Appreciate that. As they come out of I don't see those, though. So that does suck. I appreciate you telling me that, Demon. As they head into turn number 3 and 4. Look at this. Rumsey up into the number 2 spot as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Move Rumsey up to the number 2 spot. Now he's going to go to work and try to reel in the 48 of Dylan Yeager as they head through turn number 1 and 2. This could be a great race up at the front as they come down the front straightaway into turn number 3. What's that say? What if does every gift you? Oh, okay. Nice. Rumsey is definitely hauling. He had that top side working. He's going to go down to the bottom, though. That's going to give advantage to Lingron. Lingron gets high down the back straightaway, not able to take advantage as Rumsey slides up in 3 and 4. Nathan Waddell trying to stick his nose in there in that number 5 machine as they come out of turn. Ooh, Lingron going to have the spot into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to slide up into second. Here comes Rumsey back down low. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Battle for second is definitely intense. Here comes Lingron. Lingron slides up the track. Cut down by Yeager out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, going to be Yeager at the line this time by. Yeager going to get to the top of 1 and 2. Lingron going to go low. Slides up the track. Cut down by Rumsey. Down the back straightaway. Drag race into turn number 3. Rumsey's going to win that race as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Lingron going to move back down to the bottom in turn number 3 and 4. This is a game of chess up at the front as they try to time those sliders. Rumsey coming out ahead as it stands right now. Lingron going to hit the slider. Rumsey back down low out of turn number 2. Good run out of turn 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. A little bit more even. They're going to cross spaces into turn number 3 and 4. Slide job by Lingron. Cut down by Rumsey. Phenomenal race for this number 2 spot. Definitely not giving each other a lot of room, but just enough to swap the spots like they do there. Rumsey catches the wall. That's going to cost him out of turn number 2. Rumsey making a rare mistake there as they come into turn number 3 and 4. Yeah, there is some. I saw a little bit of it. I just didn't really play with it much. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Rumsey back down low. Lingron going to go to the top. He bangs the wall. Rumsey going to take advantage. He's going to slide into second out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Rumsey going to keep that number 2 spot 4. Now here comes Lingron. Rumsey up to the cushion. Lingron down low out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway looking for turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Lingron. Lingron slides up the track. Cut down by Rumsey. Yellow flag comes out. I'll tell you what. If Yeager has the mirror on, he's got a hell of a show happening behind him. Second caution flag of the night. Looks like Cray Wheeler caught up in this one. Great racing, though, tonight that we're seeing. He was trying to hit pit road, maybe? He stopped on the track. Oh, that's fucking lame. That's lame. That is kind of gay. All right. So caution flag is out for the second time tonight. So caution flag is out here once again. Oh, I'm making daily ranking. Nice. I'm probably ranked dead last. All right, so caution flag is out here once again. It was Cray just stopped on the track. Cray Wheeler. He just stopped on the track to bring out the caution. That's why I said that's kind of lame. All right, guys, if you have not liked or shared the stream, make sure you guys give the stream a like, a share, and a follow as we are going to come out of turn number 4. Let's see if we stack them back up here once again. It is going to be halfway through, 25 laps to go when they cross the line for the green flag. I'm 110 out of 111. Be right back. All right. I'll see you in a minute, Demon. All right, looking for the green flag this time. I need to turn them down. They're talking about too much BS. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Rumsey going to lead the way. Yeager's going to lead the way. Rumsey on the outside. When will Yeager fire him off as they head into turn number 3 and 4? Pace truck is in, looking for the green flag out of turn number 4. Yeah, he moved up pretty quick. He's been flat now. He's got some damage on the nose. It's probably hurting him. Green flag is out as they come down the front straightaway. Here, speaking of Johnson, here comes Johnson looking for that number 5 spot up underneath Waddell as the one on Lingron going to slide Rumsey out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. What the hell is that, Demon? Down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, Connor New trying to stick his nose up in there. Can't quite get there out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, wow. It is going to be Rumsey up to the number 2 spot as Yeager continues to lead. Here comes Lingron back to the outside into turn number 3. Lingron going to slide into turn number 3 and 4. Man, this is a hell of a field up at the front as they come out of turn number 4. If they can keep from wrecking each other, this is going to be phenomenal as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Dylan Yeager leading the way. Rumsey in second. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Nobody has caught that outside wall, which is a bit of a surprise as close as this has been, as we just seen Tolson and Johnson making contact on entry at 3 and 4. Tolson going to grab the wall out of turn 4. That's going to cost him his Lingron. Throws a slider on Rumsey in 1 and 2. Oh, I haven't made any emojis. Down into turn number 3 and 4. I see Connor New trying to stick his nose in there in that number 10 machine as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Going to be 29 laps complete. It'll be 20 laps to go when they cross the line this time by. Battle is for second on back as Yeager has dominated this one here tonight as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Ooh, almost contact between Lingron and Rumsey as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. I wonder if we'll get any of these guys in the Discord after this one. This has been a hell of a race. Love to talk to these guys up here at the top of the field as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Single file for the leaders through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 31 laps complete this time by. So they have calmed down just a little bit. Somebody was down on the bottom of the track there. Yellow flag is out. Will Hanger stop down on the bottom of the track here tonight? He's just going to park it down there and... You know, I don't know what the deal is here. I mean, his wasn't as bad. At least he got the wall. But, yeah. Oh, I see you got a little new thing next to you now, Demon. All right, so we are 31 laps into this one. Going to be 32 complete when they take the green flag. 18 laps to go. Been a barn burner here tonight. Couple good races. Definitely excited about tonight's racing here, as we've had a couple great races here tonight between the big blocks and the super late models as they get 2 to go at the line. They're stacked up 2 by 2. Going to be looking for that 1 to go this time by. One to go at the line this time by. Who's it going to be here tonight? Yeah, it's been really good. The big block race was phenomenal too. So we've had a couple good races here tonight. The pace laps are brutal here, so I figured I'd turn on a little bit of music that won't get me copyrighted. As they get the 1 to go at the line. What's up, Remington? He says, this track. Did you see the schedule for the ARCA cars? Yeah, don't forget, guys, Wednesday nights is now the ARCA Clay Clash, ARCA Dirt Series. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That schedule is posted in Discord. I will be putting it over on Facebook at some point. Wednesday will be Volusia. I'm going to put those... Yeah, I'm going to put those setups. I'm going to put the setups in the Discord if anybody wants to practice. Really, all it is the dirt setup with a gear change as the green flag is out. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. It is going to be Yeager leading the way as they head into 1 and 2. Rumsey in second down the back straightaway. Lingron trying to roll that bottom side as Ethan Johnson going to break his way up into that top 3 as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Connor New in the number 10. They are 3 wide back in the back as they come down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Here comes the slide. Rumsey slides the leader into 1 and 2. Yeager's going to cut down out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. They're going to touch into turn number 3 and 4. Who's going to have the lead at the line? Yeager going to roll the bottom. Rumsey up high. Drag race down the front straightaway. New race leader at the line. It's going to be Logan Rumsey into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job by Yeager in 1 and 2. Rumsey going to cut down the back straightaway. Drag race looking for turn number 3 and 4. Oh, they make contact into turn number 3 and 4. Rumsey to the lead. They're going to be a big stack up into 3 and 4 as Johnson sticks his nose in there. Johnson going to send it into turn number 1 and 2. Slides up the track, up in front of Yeager. Yeager going to cut down onto turn number 2. Question is, did Yeager use too much tire here tonight? As he does have nose damage as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, it's going to be Rumsey leading the way as they come down the front straightaway. Yeager starting to drop as Johnson has moved into second that time by. Yeager going to throw the slider into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Johnson back down low. Don't count out that number 10 of Connor New. He's trying to stick his nose in here as we got a great battle up at the front as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Johnson all over the back of Yeager out of turn number 4. That's going to open the door. Lingron going to look down low. Johnson tries to slam the door. Can't do it. Lingron's there. Lingron going to slide him into turn number 1 and 2. Cut down by Johnson out of turn number 2. Yellow flag is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, looks like Justin White going to have an issue here. Let's see what happens to White. Oh, he just caught too much wall in 1 and 2. That's going to bring out the caution flag as he breaks the right front on that one. I think, yeah, he's got a broken right front. You can see he left the wheel back there as we get the caution flag here once again with our new race leader, Logan Rumsey, at the front of the pack here tonight. Let's see. So I have no idea, Smitty. I have no idea. No idea. I don't know how they do it. I haven't bought a setup in like 4 years. I got a ton of talking going on.
Come on, now he's Mr. Friday Night.
Hold on, let me see who he beat real quick.
I think everybody wrecked, ain't gonna lie.
He
All
beat,
right.
one good person and one halfway decent person.
Who did he beat, Clyman?
Yeah, that's a pretty good group, though. I don't know. I don't think you'll have a issue with that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Wait,
I hope you have a good run too,
Fortnite?
Ethan.
Yeah.
I like Volusia
He
personally.
had for-
It'll be interesting to see. We're going to run a little bit longer race than what we ran last season, so we'll see how that goes. As we got them stacked up 2 by 2 into turn number 1 and 2. It is going to be Logan Rumsey leading him to the green flag. I am a little concerned about Dylan Yeager. It looked like he might have been losing a little bit of speed there. Let's see if he can find something deep inside with 12 laps to go when they take the green flag. All right, looking for the green flag as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Rumsey and Yeager on that front row. Green flag is out as Rumsey's on the gas down the front straightaway. Great jump by Ethan Johnson down on the bottom side. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Kenny slide Yeager. He's going to do it into turn number 1 and 2. Yeager back with the cut down the back straightaway. Drag race looking for turn number 3. Oh, they're going to touch into turn number 3 and 4. Yeager on the bottom. Johnson up high as Rumsey continues to lead out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. It was Yeager at the line that time. Buys ahead into 1 and 2. Yeager going to throw the slide. Cut down by Johnson. Johnson going to cut down out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Johnson. Johnson going to try to shove it into turn number 3. Stays on the bottom out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. Yeager with the advantage up on the high side as they head into 1 and 2. Johnson going to slide up the track. Cut down by Yeager. Down the back straightaway. Rumsey continues to lead. Drag race looking for turn number 3 and 4. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Slide. Nope. He's going to stay down low. Are they going to make it 3 wide as Lingron looks low? Johnson going to grab the wall. It's going to be Johnson at the line as they head into 1 and 2. Here comes the slide from Yeager. Yeager going to slide up the track, cut down by Johnson. Oh, they were almost 4 wide out of turn number 2. Able to get it back down 2 by 2 into turn number 3 and 4. Battle for second on back. It's phenomenal as they slide up the track, cut down by Yeager. Here comes Connor New trying to stick that nose of that number 10 down on the bottom side. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Yeager going to throw the slider. Pops up, hits the cushion out of turn number 2. Takes that number 2 spot. Here comes Johnson back in the number 11 as they ride down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Down into turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be 7 laps to go this time by 7 to go as we got Reckon in the back of the pack. Will they keep it green as they head into turn number 1 and 2? Out of turn. I think that was Lingron getting the inside wall a little bit there. I heard something hitting the wall as they head through turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go. Battle for second is absolutely phenomenal. Here comes Johnson. Johnson to the bottom of 1 and 2. He's going to stay down in the slick, runs the cut down, grabs that tack out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, trying to find a line as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Lingron down to the bottom once again as we got contact in the back as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. So big contact with Tolson. I think it was Riley Knoll getting into him there as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, single file once again for the top 4. Oh, Yeager going to grab the wall. That's going to open the door for Johnson out of turn number 4. It's going to be 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go. This is the Logan Rumsey show as it stands right now. Yeager going to grab the wall again. Here comes Johnson back down low out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Johnson slowly gaining a little bit of time on that number 48 as they head through turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be 3 laps to go at the line. 3 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Rumsey continuing to lead the way. Yeager in second, Johnson in third, Lingron, Waddell, your top 5 as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 2 sticks in the air, 2 more laps to go for our leader, Logan Rumsey. Can he hold on? Will it stay green? Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Johnson looking down low, can't get the run off. Looks like they are pretty even up at the front as they come out of turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go for Logan Rumsey in that number 6 machine. Looking for that checkered flag here tonight. Great race, masterfully run as he is up 5 spots. Johnson up 13 as they head through turn number 3 and 4. 1 last time, checkered flag in the air. Give it to the number 6 of Logan Rumsey here tonight. Dylan Yeager, Ethan Johnson, Joey Lingron, and Nathan Waddell, your top 5. What a race here tonight. All right, let's go ahead and go through these results as soon as it shows me. Let's see if we can. There it is. It's going to be Logan Rumsey with the win here tonight. Dylan Yeager in second. Ethan Johnson going to be in that number 3 spot. Joey Lingron in 4th. Nathan Waddell in the number 5 position. Sean Smith in 6th. That was a great race. Phenomenal race. Riley Knoll in 7th. Going to be Chase Copeland in that number 8 spot. Hayden Tolson in 9th. Tyler Bickford in 10th. Going to be Craig Wheeler in the number 11 spot. Ethan Suckwich in 12th. Dylan Ward in 13th. Justin White's going to be 14th. Will Hanger 15th. Mitzner in 16th. Putnan in 17th. And Connor New in that number 18 spot. Yeah, I got to find something to kind of fill in the next 30 minutes, but I am going to do the UMP race. But we got to kill 30 minutes, so we'll see what we do here. How you been doing, C-Right? All right, let's go ahead and see if anybody happened to jump in Discord, if any of the top 3 want to, and maybe top 5, I don't care. Rumsey, Yeager, Johnson, Lingron, Weddell, any of you guys? More than welcome to. As I got a little bit of time to kill, let's see. What can I jump in to kill about 30 minutes? Let me go see what is about to pop up. I don't want to do the fixed. Let's see. 410s. That's fixed. That's fixed. All right. So we could do, we might have enough time. We could do midgets at I-55. So we got midgets. Oh my God, that's going to get me banned. It's only, okay. Okay, so I could always jump over if you want me to do that. I don't mind if they're only in heat 1. I that should finish in time. 360s, you said? I don't mind. We can do 360s. Yeah, it's a 2098 SOF, 15 drivers. We'll go ahead and jump over there. No problem doing that. Did anybody jump in Discord? Nobody jumped in Discord. All right, let's jump over. We'll jump over and watch that. I don't care. I just got to kill some time. C-Right was saying 360s. I'm going to jump over to the 360s because I know those will finish in time. So let's jump over into the 360s here. All right, let's see. Where are we at? All right, it's going to let me join. There we go. 360s should be a good... They're at Bristol? Oh, my God. That's going to be brutal if we get any caution. Oh, C-Right's in there. That's why he wanted me to do it. I got you, C-Right. I got you. God, Bristol in the 360s has to be brutal to run. All right, so 360s here at Bristol. I mean, I-55 is kind of like a big track like Bristol for the midgets. Let's see who else is in here. I don't know any of these guys because I don't ever do sprints. All right, so we got 360s here at Bristol. UMPs are at 10:15. They're in 30 minutes. 30 minutes for the UMPs. All right, so heat race number 2 out on the track right now at Bristol as Crouch and C-Right battle for the lead. C-Right going to fall back to second. Crouch going to lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. Out front, leading the way, down the back straightaway. Need to turn that up a little bit. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. It's going to be Crouch out front, C-Right in second. Big Money Sarge in that number 3 spot. I believe top 6 going to transfer through. What is the format in this? Let's see. Yeah, 6 from the feature, 4 from the consi. So we are sending somebody home here tonight as Brendan, Crouch, and C-Right lead the way with Sarge in that number 3 spot. Sargent down into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Sargent. Sargent in the back of C-Right. C-Right going to hold on to it. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 5 laps to go as they come across the line, or 3 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be Crouch leading the way. C-Right in second. C-Right going to try to reel back in Crouch as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Ha in that number 4 spot. Schatz in a 5th. Watts in a 6th. Looks like a couple of people did not grid up for this as they head down the back straightaway. Here comes the battle for the lead. Seawright has closed the gap through turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be white flag, 1 lap to go. Here comes Seawright into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job by Seawright, cut down by Crouch down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3 and 4. Crouch going to lead the way. Out of turn number 4, Seawright tries to get the cut down. Can't quite get there. It's going to be Crouch, Seawright, Sargent, Bryson, Schatz, and Watts, your top 6. All right, so we are going to end up with an LCQ in this one. Remember, UMP Modifieds will be coming up at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be our last race of the night, as these guys get lined up for the LCQ. God, I don't know any of these names. All right, we're going to totally guess these names, guys. It is going to be Ethan Wisnowski in that number 1 spot. Landon Audit in 2nd. In the number 3 position, it is going to be Matthew Null with Jacob in 4th. Going to be Derek Rouse in that number 5 spot. Porter in 6th. It looks like we only have 4 cars in the LCQ. All 4 going to transfer through. So this will just burn in the track a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how the track winds up here tonight, how it affects these 360 sprint cars as they come down the back straightaway. They're going to get that 1 to go this time by here for the LCQ. This could be a regular thing on Mondays. This might actually work out perfect. All right, looking for the green flag as they come down the back straightaway. Going to be Landon and Ethan on that front row. Ethan going to lead them into turn number 3 and 4. Landon's playing that game that I'm going to lead you into turn number 3 and 4 as they are side by side looking for the green flag. Everybody going to transfer through, so hopefully they can all keep it in one piece as the green flag is out. Ethan going to get a great jump as battle's going to be for second as they come out of turn number 2. Landon going to ride the wall through turn number 1 and 2. That's going to give Matthew Null that number 2 spot out of turn number 4. Down into turn number 1 and 2, going to be Matthew Null in the number 2 spot. Landon going to push up the track, almost grabs the wall. Here comes Derek Rouse in the number 10 as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 2 laps complete. Man, they've zipped some freaking laps. They're doing 15-second laps here. That's pretty wild. As they head through turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, looking for 3 and 4. Derek closing the gap on Landon Audit as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 3 laps complete down the front straightaway, down into 1 and 2. This is where the battle is at. Oh, the battle for the lead is starting to heat up as Matthew Null has closed the gap on Ethan Wisnowski. I think that's how you say it. As we got 4 laps complete. Down the back straightaway, looking for 3 and 4. Matthew going to go down into the slick. That's going to kill his lap just a little bit. As they come out of turn number 4, issues for Matthew. Matthew down off the pace, down the front straightaway. What happened to the number 18? He was closing the gap on the leader. Did he have the wrong set in there? Oh, I think Matthew had the wrong set in there. Might have ran out of gas. Might have had his qual set in as Ethan continues to lead. Derek in second, Landon in third. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 3 laps to go at the line. This is the Ethan show. What's up, Dylan? Not too bad. Not too bad. How you been? Down into turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 2 laps to go at the line in the LCQ. Everybody going to transfer out of this one as 2 people did not show up. Matthew pulled off. Not sure if he ran out of gas. Oh, did he run out of gas maybe? He's asking questions. He doesn't know why his car died. I have a feeling you might have had the qual set in there as Ethan comes down the back straightaway one last time, looking for that checkered flag as they head through turn number 3 and 4. He's going to take the win in the LCQ. He's going to be our B-Main Warrior. Derek second, Landon third, Matthew in fourth. All right, if you guys are out there watching and this is your first time, make sure you guys give the stream a share, a like, and a follow. Also, remember, our ARCA Dirt Series, the ARCA Clay Clash, will be run on Wednesday nights now moving forward. Volusia going to be our first race of the season on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss that one as we get ready for some green flag action here in the 360 Sprint Cars. All right, we all know what time it is. It is time for tonight's starting lineup.
Feel the thunder roll, the clay's flying, engines rolling full. Side by side, leaning into the fight, chasing that checkered flag.
Starting on the pole here tonight in the number 33 machine, it's going to be Levi Salesgiver. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Starting outside of him in the number 2 machine, it's going to be Breckton Crouch. Starting inside row number 2 in the number 7 machine, it's going to be Lewis Knight. Outside of him in the number 18, it's going to be James. Can't see right. No, I'm just picking on you, James. I don't have anything asphalt really going on except for Whoop. Starting inside row number 3 here tonight in the number 11 machine, it's going to be Jeremy Childers. Outside of him in the number 77, it's going to be Dustin Sargent. Starting inside row number 4, it's going to be wow, I can't read these names. It's going to be Batchland. I don't know what these names are. Outside of him, it's going to be Bryson Haw. Starting inside row number 5, it's going to be Clay Johnson with Schatz in 10th. Going to be Austin Thomas in 10th. In 11th, Tyler Watts in 12th. Then rounding out the field here tonight, it is going to be Ethan Wisnowski in the number 13 spot, Rouse in 14th, Audit in 15th, and Matthew Null in that number 16 spot, but he did not grid up as we look for the green flag. Out of turn number 4, green flag is out. Levi going to have a nice jump down into 1 and 2. Slides up the track. Out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Battle for the lead. Here comes Crouch up underneath. He's going to slide him into turn number 3 and 4. Crouch slides up the track as they come out of turn number 4. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Battle for the lead. Crouch leads the way. Levi in second. Here comes Seawright up underneath out of turn number 2. Sargent going to give him a bunch of room, allows Seawright back up in line as they come out of turn number 2. Sargent going to go down low, down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Battle for third. You didn't make the top split. Yeah, I didn't know you tried. Top split was a massive split for big blocks. Out of turn number 2, down turn number 4, down the front straightaway, down into 1 and 2. Almost contact there between Seawright and Sargent as they head into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, going to be single file into turn number 1 and 2. Battle for the lead here tonight. Definitely a good group up at the front as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Let's look behind them, how these guys doing back here. Definitely a little bit of chaos. 3 wide into turn number 3 and 4. Oh, contact, one in the wall. Down the back straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Slide job by the 102. He's going to stick it on the nose out of turn 2. That is Clay Johnson as they come down the front straightaway. Yellow flag is out as Austin Thomas has an issue. Let's see if that's who I saw get clipped into the wall. It is Gets in the wall, going to break that right front. You can see that right front is definitely not cooperating. Yeah, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. The racing was phenomenal. Are these guys trying to wreck under caution? I think they are. So let me ask you a question, Andrew Clark. What do you think about ARCA cars on dirt? I'll tell you right now, everybody's been telling me they drive just like a hobby stock. And they've been having a lot of fun. Hit the pace car. He definitely hit the pace car. Crouch was all over the pace car there. These guys are a bit of mess up at the front and the back, but the front of the field has definitely been a phenomenal one here so far. He's your goat. Here's your goat. We're going to see a restart here. We got 5 laps in the books. Remember, in about 15 minutes, we're going to be jumping over to UMP Modifieds. Well, after this, it should line up pretty good to close out the night. You had 9 cautions. There was a couple little cautions, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It was normal. People go over the edge. You know how it goes. They're definitely fun. I'll give you the gear we're going to run at Volusia. Volusia is the first race for our Wednesday's race, which is the first race of the season. Last season was a lot of fun. Landon Moody dominated. We are going to keep points. Landon got the championship. We will do a trophy at the end of the season or a plaque for whoever our champion is in that series. 11 race, 3 drop weeks. 11 races, 3 drop weeks for the ARCA Clay Dirt Series. ARCA Clay Clash. All right, so we are going green flag this time by as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Is going to be Crouch leading the way. Yeah, that is just, it gets annoying. I was definitely impressed by Top Split. Top Split was phenomenal in the big blocks and it was phenomenal in the supers. We're going to see how the UMPs go. Looking for the green flag. Green flag is out as Crouch stacks up the field out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. James Seawright in that number 3 spot. He was putting the pressure on Levi. Couldn't quite get around as Sargent was giving Seawright a ton of room, as there was definitely a couple little mistakes made as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Here comes Sargent all over the back of Seawright as they come through turn number 1 and 2. Seawright going to run the cushion down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Sargent in the 77. Thought about the slider, didn't do it, got loose on the bottom, slides back up to the top. So Sargent in that number 4 spot, trying to find a place to be as they come down the back straightaway, looking for turn at number 3 and 4. Crouch continues to lead. Levi putting the pressure on him. Here comes Levi looking for the lead. Oh, they touch into turn number 1 and 2. Crouch turns himself across the nose of, Sarge gets victimized there out of turn number 2. Wow, Crouch turned himself across the nose of Levi. Levi takes the lead. Seawright going to jump up into the number 2 spot as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Levi going to lead the way down the front straightaway. 11 laps in the books. So that would oh, that's actually pretty clever, Robert. I like that. I gave you a reason to watch another night of the week, right? By moving them to Wednesday. So Levi going to lead the way. Seawright going to try to reel him in. Crouch in that number 3 spot. Yellow flag comes out. Yellow flag is out. That was a fucking mess there. Let's see if I can go find that battle for the lead. Yeah, he just turned across the nose. I don't know if he knew it was there or not. But he just turned around the nose, across the nose, and absolutely killed Sargent. Boom. He's lucky. He's lucky he got that wing back, because he would have been screwed. Oh my God! What the hell did Matthew do? That's what brought out the caution flag. We got to look at this again. He just loses it. Watch this with Matthew. He's trying to get back to the track. Oh God, big hit for Matthew there. Just lost the back end and there. Tried to save it and come back up on the track. Absolutely clobbering the outside, the inside wall. USAC isn't good in wing sprints, right? He definitely would have had a downforce disadvantage. What's up, Donnie? All right, we are looking for that green flag. Is it this time by? Yep. Nope. Pace lights are on, so it's going to be 1 to go at the line. This time by. Make sure you guys get that like, share, and follow button out there if you have not already done it. As we are getting ready for the green flag as they get the 1 to go. This time by 1 to go. Who's it going to be? I don't know if Seawright has anything, and I don't know how bad Sargent's car was tore up there, but Sargent definitely had some speed too. In that number 77, he clipped the wall, knocked the wing off, but it grew back. Luckily, I don't see any visible damage on that thing, so he might be all right. He might be all right. We got Crouch in that number 3 spot. This could get real interesting as they head into turn number 3 and 4, looking for that green flag. Waiting on those UMPs. Those are coming up 10 more minutes. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Crouch going to try to jump Seawright into turn number 1 and 2. Slides him up the track. Seawright in the back of him. Out of turn 2. Big save by Seawright. Seawright's got in the back of him. Big save by him as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 14 laps complete. We got 16 to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Oh my God. Crouch is, I think this might not end up very well. Down through turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Sargent. Sargent going to slide in 3 and 4. Comes up the track. Crouch back down low. Crouch going to slide into turn number 1 and 2. Cut down by Sargent. Sargent with a great run out of turn number 2. This is exactly what Levi needs. Get a little bit of separation as they come out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. It is going to be 14 laps to go as they head into 1 and 2. Oh, Crouch tried to slide. Sargent rides the wall out of turn number 2. Slow car down on the bottom. Hopefully he keeps it moving as I head through turn number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. Can anybody catch Levi at this point as they head through turn number 1 and 2? I might have to grab another water for the UMP race. Out of turn number 4, 12 laps to go. Levi continues to lead the field. Seawright has fallen back into the number 5 spot, trying to reel in Lewis Knight in the number 4 position as they head through turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 11 laps to go. Oh, this is going to be perfect timing. Might be done a little bit early, but it still works. Levi leads the way through turn number 3 and 4. 10 laps to go as they come across the line. Sargent closing the gap. Sargent definitely looked like he was closing the gap last time by. He was a tick slower. Seawright definitely has some speed. Was the fastest car on the track last time by. Can he get himself back up into the top 3? Down into turn number 1 and 2. They got a little bit of craziness happening back in the field. I see those positions changing as we move back up to the front. Crouch trying to catch Sargent. Sargent trying to catch Levi. He has gotten there as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Sargent to the outside. Levi down low, down the back straightaway. Battle for the lead. Into turn number 3 and 4. Sargent with the run out of turn number 4. New race leader at the line. Dustin Sargent into 1 and 2. Sargent going to have the lead through turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Levi falls back. Crouch just behind him. Here comes Crouch into turn number 3 and 4. 3-car battle for the lead out of turn number 4. Going to be 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go. Don't count out Knight or Seawright. They're trying to close the gap too. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. 3 different lines with the top 3 through turn number 3 and 4. 5 laps to go. Yellow flag comes out. Clay Johnson having an issue here. Let's see what happens to Clay to bring out the caution flag. Oh, he got into the back of someone, goes around, big checkup up in front of him. He's going to lose that wing. That is going to be detrimental to his night. He's probably going to be done or have his hands full for the rest of the night. So there's going to be 5 laps to go when they take the green flag. Sargent with the lead. Levi in second. Crouch in third. Knight fourth. Seawright in fifth. Let's see how this one is going to end here tonight. This could get really wild. It definitely has the looks of being wild. We're going to see if that pans out, as we are going to get a 5-lap shootout here tonight. Hopefully these leaders can keep it nice and clean. Hopefully. All right, let's see if the pace lights go out at the line. As they come across the line, we got 2 more laps to pace here. Pace laps at Bristol are absolutely brutal. Yeah, you know, well, we have 4 shows because we still got the UMPs coming up after. I needed something to fill in between. I just felt like we were losing some of the other drivers that wanted to run regular because it was pushing on the other openers and people didn't want to miss it. So I feel like we're going to end up with some better fields in the long run in the ARCA series, and it's been so fun. That ARCA series has been phenomenal. All right, we are looking for the green flag this time by as Dustin Sargent leads the field. Levi in second, Crouch in third, Knight in fourth, Seawright in fifth, Childers in that number 6 spot. Looking for the green flag. 5 laps to go when they come across the line. Green flag is out. Green flag is out, as it looked like Levi might have been sleeping a little bit on that start. Crouch having an issue with his connection as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Crouch. He's going to slide, I think. Nope, he stays down low. Might know he's blinking as they come out of turn number 4. Seawright up into the number 4 spot once again as they head through 3 and 4. 1 and 2, my bad. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Let's see. Oh, Seawright going to get into him. Out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go. Here comes Seawright looking for second. Seawright has found a little something down on the bottom side as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway through turn number 3 and 4. Looking for 2 to go at the line. Dustin Sargent leads the way as they come down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Oh, he hit him. He hit Crouch. Crouch goes around. Crouch wrecking. No caution flag as they come out of turn number 4. It's going to be white flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go into turn number 1 and 2. Dustin Sargent leads the way out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Seawright too far back as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Is he going to prove me wrong? Out of turn number 4. Give the win to Sargent. Seawright second. Crouch third. Lewis Knight in fourth. Childers fifth. Joshua 6th, DJ 7th, Bryson 8th, Derek 9th, Levi in 10th. We got beef in the chat. Beef in the chat. Here are your results. It is going to be Sargent with the win. Seawright second. Crouch in third. Lewis Knight going to be in that number 4 spot. Childers in 5th. Going to be Joshua Schatz in that number 6 spot. BJ in 7th. Bryson in 8th. Going to be Derek Rose in that number 9 spot. Levi in 10th. Clay Johnson in 11th. Landon's going to be 12th. Ethan 13th. Matthew 14th. Austin 15th. And Tyler Watts in that number 16 spot. That was a fun show. We might try and grab one of those again next week as we are going to get ready for the UMP Modifieds coming up here in about 2 minutes. We'll see. I know C-Wright's got my Discord. We'll see if he jumps into Discord. If not, if any of these guys jump in Discord, they're more than welcome for an interview. I'm going to grab a water, though, real quick. Give me just 1 second.
Clay's flying, engines roaring full. Side by side, leaning into the fight, chasing that checkered flag at night. We're burning up dirt, kicking up dust. Ain't nothing like racing with the rest of us. Been still, we're tough as nails. One lap closer, bringing trails from.
All right, let's see if C-Wright has made his way. Let's see if C-Wright has made his way into the Discord. Maybe he's in there. Maybe he's not. I don't see him in there. I know he was in the chat. All right, looks like that UMP race is about to go up. We're going to go ahead and... I got to do a switching to the next race. That was pretty wild. Definitely worth the watch as we get ready for the UMP Modifieds here tonight. It is going to be the final race of the night. All right, I don't think it is up and ready yet. All right, waiting for that race session to go ahead and pop up for us here. As soon as it does, we will be jumping into that race. We know Donnie Watts will be in there. Why is it not showing it to me? I just close out of it and re-bring it up. Sometimes when I jump race to race, it acts a little funny. So sometimes I have to close down iRacing and bring it back up. There it is. There it is.
Feel the thunder roll, the clay's flying, engines roaring full. Side by side, leaning into the fight, chasing that checkered flag at night. We're burning up dirt, kicking up dust. Ain't nothing like racing with the rest of us. Still, we're tough as nails.
All right, looks like we got Harper's in there, Donnie Watts is in there, Fields is in there, got a couple regulars. Richie Yost is in there, Richie Gaines. You know who I don't see in there? I don't see any of our normal opener guys. Like Hackney and T-Clem. All right, getting in the session right now. It's going to be 30 laps for tonight's race finale. UMP Modifieds closing up the night here at Limaland. Should be a relatively quick show. Brandon Schatz currently with the quick time. Jacob Fields in second. Aiden in third. Donnie Watts fourth. And Thomas Smith, your top five. But we got a couple fast guys that have not put down a lap yet.
This is our creed. Dirt track of living is all we need. Giving it all, no room for slack. Down in the mud and we're never looking back. We're burning up dirt, kicking up.
All right. Looks like everybody's going to make the feature here tonight. So we only are going to have 2 heat races in one feature. No LCQ. No LCQ here tonight. Brandon, Jacob Fields, Aiden, Alex Harper, Donnie Watts, Thomas Smith, Owen Storm, Richie Yost, Richie Gaines, Mason Newmiller, Grayson Klimick, Aiden Tyler Scott, Tanner Burdell, Peyton Stevenson, and Jared King all in this one here tonight. Braden doesn't have a very good connection. Jacob Fields in the 007 side by side with Harper. Harper's definitely been getting a whole lot better here lately. It's good to see him running up towards the front and contending with these wins. Each and every season, he seems to be getting a little bit better as he is going to go ahead and wreck it. As we got about 1 minute left here in practice, and we are going to get into qualifying. All right, guys, who is ready for some racing here tonight? Who is ready? UMP Modifieds here at Limaland. Going to be a heater of a race, 15 seconds, and we are jumping into qualifying as Jacob Fields going to jump off the track. Harper out on the track right now, burning some laps still. Donnie Watts in that number 74. Make sure you guys go give his channel a follow. As that is the end of practice, let's get ready for qualifying here tonight.
Dirt track of living is all we need. Giving it all, no room for slack. Down in the mud and we're never looking back.
Donnie, why don't you tell, if you're still out there in the chat, why don't you tell everywhere the best places and platforms to find you on to watch some more dirt racing every once in a while? You're welcome, Donnie. All right, looks like that's funny that your timing for the thank you is when I was saying that. We're gonna jump on with Richie Yost. Richie Yost out on the track putting down a qualifying time. Let's see where he is going to set the bar here early on. We're going to go ahead and pause that. I'm going to go ahead and change this the best time. As Yost comes out of turn number 4. Let's see what kind of lap time he puts down. He was slower with a 12.639. I think that's what it says. I think that's what it says. Oh, 6.539. Richie Gaines out there. Let's see who else we got out on the track. Yeah, YouTube and Facebook, Right Rear Racing. Make sure you guys go give them a like, a share, and a follow. Jared King out there on the track too. Here, I'll do it right. I'll do it right, Donnie. Hold on. It's not letting me. I was trying to tag it, but it wouldn't let me. For some reason, it wasn't showing up as a choice. We'll get it. We'll get Donnie's channel out there. All right, Demon. I didn't know you were still there. All right, so at the top of the chart is Grayson Klimek. Let's see. Donnie Watts is out on the track. He's currently 8th on the board in that number 74. Harper is going to jump up to the number 3 spot. Jacob Fields deep in the field in the number 6 spot. So qualified just about up. 15 cars set to do battle here tonight. We're going to get 2 heat races. Everybody's going to make it. No LCQ, so that will be 4 position. This is top split official for the UMP Modifieds. It's too late to get in there. And you have to have at least a 28:53 in tonight's race for the iRacing. All right, let's see. That is the 15 car in here. That's why I said that. All right, let's see who is going to be on the pole here tonight in heat race number 1. Starting on the pole in the number 32 machine, it's going to be Grayson Klimek. Outside of him in the number 10 machine, it is going to be Alex Harper. Starting inside, row number 2 in the number 82 machine, it's going to be Jared King. Outside of him in the number 6, it's going to be Mason Newmiller. Starting inside, row number 3 here tonight in the number 44 machine, it's going to be Richie Gaines. Outside of him in the number 5, it's going to be Tanner Rydell. Starting inside, row number 4 here tonight in that number 2 machine, it's going to be Aiden Lambert. Outside of him in the number 23, it's going to be Adam Scott. 8 laps here tonight in heat race number 1. Everybody's going to make it. So this is 4 position. You know what they say about people who can't race? They broadcast them. I'm going to start racing some more here soon. I was talking to the guys. I feel like I've gotten out of touch a little bit because I don't race as much as I did before that. And, you know, I have some pretty good relationships driving. All right, looking for the green flag. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Grayson going to get on the gas down into 1 and 2. Harper going to fall in line as we got contact further back. 1 around. It is going to be Tanner Rydell in that number 5 machine going around in turn number 1 and 2. Adam Scott going to get caught up in that one at the back of the pack as we move into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Harper all over the back of Grayson. Trying to look down low out of turn number 4. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Harper looking down low. Can't quite make the pass. Has to fall in line as they head into 1 and 2. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, going to be single file for the leaders as Richie Gaines tries to throw the slide in turn number 1 and 2. Can't make the pass. Goes into turn number 3 and 4. Keeps it down low. Jared King running the high side down the front straightaway. Going to be 4 laps to go. 4 laps complete. Out of turn number 2, slide job by Gaines here, or Gaines. Wow. King down low out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Harper still all over the back of Grayson. We'll keep an eye on that battle as this one continues to go back and forth as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Back up to the front. Harper putting a little bit more pressure on the 32 of Grayson Klimek. Out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Looking for 3 and 4. Here comes Harper down low. Throws the slide. Parks it on his nose. Knocks Grayson up the track. Grayson in the wall. Harper takes the lead as they come down into turn number 1 and 2. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Harper through turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. He's going to take the win here in heat race number 2. Mason 2nd, Grayson 3rd. Mason and Grayson. Richie Gaines in 4th. King in 5th. Adam Lambert 6th. Tanner 7th. And Adam in that number 8 spot. So we had a little bit of apologies out there for that right rear. So a little bit of sportsmanship there. You know Grayson was pissed. He did a good job there. All right, starting on the pole. Here tonight in heat race number 2 is going to be Brennan Schatz. Outside of him in the number 29, it's going to be Richie Yost. Starting inside row number 3 in the 007 is going to be Jacob Fields. Outside of him in the number 74, it's going to be Donnie Watts. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 15 machine, it is going to be Owen Storm. Outside of him in the number 91 is going to be Peyton Stevenson. Then rounding out the field here tonight in the number 98 machine, it's going to be Thomas Smith. 8 laps here tonight in heat race number 2, getting ready for the 30-lap main event. Who's it gonna be here tonight? Who's your pick here in heat race number 2? Let me know in the chat. Do you got a favorite? Who do you think is gonna win this one? Let me know. Let me know. Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Going to be Brandon leading him into 1 and 2. Richie Yost trying to put the pressure on him as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Here comes Fields down low, up underneath Yost out of turn number 4. He's going to have the number 2 spot that time by continuing to dig down low. Shat's going to come down low, sees him down there. Fields going to keep it low out of turn number 4. Brandon continues to lead as they come across the line this time by. Here comes Fields in the 007. Can he complete the pass this time by as they head through turn number 3 and 4? Out of turn number 4, new race leader at the line that time by. Going to be Jacob Fields in the 1 and 2. Yost says, oh, we had a straight line in the back. Wrecking for last. Wow, let's go take a look at this. I think he just straight lined him. He fed him the right rear. And then Stevenson is just going to straight line him here. Bam! Well, feeds him the door to the... Well, nothing like clowning it out for last, right? Battle's going to be for that number 2 spot. Yost's going to feed Brandon the right rear as they come through turn number 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 more lap for Jacob Fields. Down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Here comes Yost looking for second. He's going to have it out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Give the win to Jacob Fields. Richie Yost in second. Braden Schatz in third. Donnie Watts in fourth. Thomas Smith in fifth. Owen Storm and Peyton Stevens rounding out the field. Well, we know what time it is for the last time here tonight. Let's go for tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole here tonight in that number 10 machine, it's going to be Alex Harper. Outside of him in the 007, it's going to be Jacob Fields. I wonder if Fields is going to make the ARCA race. Starting inside row number 2 in that number 6 machine, it's going to be Mason Newmiller. Outside of him in the number 29, it's going to be Richie Yost. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 32 machine, it's going to be Grayson Klimek. Outside of him in the number 34, it's going to be Brandon Schatz. Starting inside row number 4 here tonight in that number 44 machine, it's going to be Richie Gaines. Wow, we got 2/3 in that row. Outside of him in the number 74, it's going to be Donnie Watts. Starting inside row number 5 in the number 82 machine, it's going to be Jared King. Outside of him in the number 98, it's going to be Thomas Smith. Starting inside row number 6 in the number 2 machine, it is going to be Adam Lambert. Outside of him, still complaining, And the number 15, it's going to be Owen Storm. Then running out the field here tonight in those last two rows, it is going to be Tanner Verdell in 13th, Peyton Stevens 14th, and Aiden Adam Scott in that number 15 spot as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Field's going to stay on the bottom. Kenny pull it off down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Harper up high. Field's down low. Drag race out of turn number 4. Harper leads lap number 1 as they head into 1 and 2. Side by side out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Going to be Harper up high. Fields down low, not too close to call at the line that time by Harper. Trying to stay alive on the high side, but Fields going to clear him down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. What's up, Kenny? Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Jacob Fields continues to lead. Alex Harper in second, as the battle for that number 3 spot is raging as Richie Yost rolls the bottom through turn number 3 and 4. Yost going to have the number 3 spot up. New Miller up high as they head through turn number 1 and 2. New Miller trying to get the run. Big run out of turn number 2, down into turn number 3 and 4. 5 laps complete as they come across the line. This time by bottom side is definitely hooked up. Harper continues to run the high side. Will that top side come alive and allow Harper to reel in our leader as they come out of turn number 4? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Who's got the best UMP setups out there? Let me know in the chat. Fields continues to lead the way. Alex Harper in second. Richie Yost in third. New Miller in fourth. As New Miller continues to fight on the outside as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Almost watched Donnie Watts. Almost watched him get killed by Stevenson there as they head out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway looking for 3 and 4. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. Big wreck. Big wreck out of turn number 4. No caution flag. It stays green. Back up to the front. Battle for the lead. Harper has made his way back to the back bumper of Fields as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Nose to tail. Here comes Harper looking down low. Can't quite get there. There are some places that have it. I'll look around for you, Kenny. I see you enough. I can let you know. This one's open, but they do have a fix that one too, though. Fields continues to lead Harper in second. Fields going to grab the wall out of turn number 4. Across the line, 12 laps complete. Yost has finally secured the number 3 spot as New Miller back to 4th as Gaines close the gap through turn number 3 and 4. 13 laps complete this time by as they come down the front straightaway. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be Richie Gaines trying to gain on New Miller as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Can he find his way around? Yost trying to find some speed. He's kind of in that boring spot. Nobody to race, trying to find some speed and hoping nobody gains on him. Harper continuing to have a good run in that number 10 machine, putting the pressure on the 007, keeping Fields honest here tonight as they head through turn number 3 and 4. 14 laps complete. 14 laps to go. 16 laps complete. Lap traffic up ahead. These were cars that had contact as these guys continue to head through turn number 3 and 4. Will lap traffic play a role in this battle for the lead? New Miller in the wall. New Miller in the wall. Will that be a caution? Caution flag comes out. Let's see what happened to New. Oh, man. Oh, he gets into the back of him here. All right. So I think that there's definitely some damage on New Miller's car. He's pulling down onto pit road, broken front end, I think. He's going to come down and get some damage repaired. Donnie Watts down on pit road. Definitely seen him take some contact in that wreck that didn't bring out the caution flag. As Fields continues to lead, we're going to get a 2x2 start here on this restart with 12 laps to go when they take the green flag. Oh, they're making up. Making up. All right, 1 to go as they head into turn at number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Field's going to continue to lead. Battle's going to be for second on back. Harper rolling that bottom side. Richie Yost has the bottom side working in that number 29. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. 11 laps to go. Harper continues to wind it up on the top side, but the bottom side is rolling. Big run. Here they are, 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide for the lead out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Fields going to lead that time by. Harper holds strong in the middle. Yost on the bottom. Out of turn number 2. Oh, a little bit of contact. Somehow they stay alive down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Down into turn number 1 and 2. 9 laps to go. Definitely a battle up at the front as Richie Yost takes the lead down into turn number 3 and 4. Yost to the point. Here comes Harper. Harper makes contact. They're hitting down the front straightaway. Harper hard on the wall in 1 and 2. Harper gets the wall in turn number 1 and 2. No caution flag, falls all the way to the back. Yost out front. Brandon now in that number 2 spot. Richie Gaines in 4th. Jacob Fields all the way back. Here comes Peyton Stevens up underneath out of the LCQ, looking for a nice top 5 finish here tonight. Peyton Stevens trying to roll his way on the bottom side, trying to get up underneath Fields. Richie Yost continues to lead. It's going to be 5 laps to go when they come across the line this time by. 5 laps to go. Brandon Schatz in that number 2 spot. Richie Gaines all over him in the 3rd position. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Schatz going to go to the bottom through 3 and 4. Running slider as Fields tried to ride the wall that time by. That might have cost him a ton as he's got Peyton Stevenson all over the back of him. Out of turn 4, 3 wide in the back. As they come through turn number 3 and 4, going to be 3 laps to go. 3 more laps for our leader. Battle's going to be for second. Here comes Gaines down low. Can't quite get there. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Up underneath, 2 sticks in the air. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go as they head into 1 and 2. Looked like Gaines had to get back in line. Fields reeling them in. Down the back straightaway through turn number 3 and 4. One last time. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go as they come out of turn number 2. This is the Richie Yost show up at the front as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Yost going to take the win. Brandon Schatz in 2nd. Richie Gaines in 3rd. Fields 4th. Peyton Stevens in 5th. All right, tonight's results. It's going to be Richie Yost with the win. Brandon Schatz in 2nd. Richie Gaines in 3rd. Anybody in the top 3 want an interview? Jump in the Discord. Going to be Jacob Fields in that number 4 spot. Peyton Stevens in 5th. Tanner Riddell in 6th. Going to be Grayson Klimick in that number 7 spot. Jared King in 8th. Alex Harper in the number 9 spot. Aiden Lambert in 10th. Owen Storm in 11th. Donnie Watts in that number 12 spot. Adam Scott in 13th. Mason Newmiller in 14th. And then rounding out the field here tonight is going to be Thomas Smith. I don't see anybody in there for an interview. We will give him a couple more minutes. And the last reminder of the night, ARCA Dirt, now known as the ARCA Clay Clash, has moved to Wednesday nights. Make sure you guys check that out. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be an open hosted, so if you want to run, just get in. Right now, it is going to be the first 24 cars to get in there will be able to run the race. That night, I may change or expand the field if we start to get more participation. So make sure you guys check us out on Wednesday nights, whether you want to race or watch. Another fun night. That was great racing. Yeah, that kind of sucked. That definitely sucked, Donnie. But good run, good run. You were solid. Definitely solid. But that is going to be it for tonight. Nobody in for an interview, so we are going to call it a night. Appreciate every single one of you out there, as always. Make sure you get the stream a like, a share, a follow. And as always, until next time, be safe and have a good night.